Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Streaming. Oh, okay. Let's play more Diablo. Let's turn some music though first. Of course, why wouldn't Diablo 4 have a patch right now that I didn't plan on getting? Whoops. What do we want today? You know, I could play oh fuck, I can't play music because I'm fucking restreaming, dude. Whatever. Whatever, dude. Fucking YouTube Lord Cock Blockula. How's everyone doing today? This is gonna be probably our last Diablo stream. I'm gonna transition back into Crimson Desert. We're gonna hit a little bit of Gothic 1 before Gothic 1 comes out, and we're gonna do some Subnautica 2. I've never played Subnautica, so I'm really worried about how that's gonna go for me. The caffeine for the day is gonna be a Monster Blue Hawaiian. See how that goes, Bob. Starting off good with it getting in my eye. Oh, God, dude. So many things get in my eye all the time. Like yesterday, I went to like go move a bag of protein powder. And by pushing all the air out of it, it caused like a backdraft of protein powder into my face. I'm surprised I didn't wake up with like protein powder pink eye. Okay, so listen, I'm no fool. I know this is not like the bam bam super build that everyone wants to build, and I think today we'll try. I'm gonna try Arbiter of Justice in this build rather than Zenith. I know it's better, but I don't want it to be better, so I'm not trying not to use it. Problem I have with Arbiter of Justice is that it just has a really wild cooldown. So what are our Arbiter abilities? Casting skill that grants Arbiter form increases your damage. Nothing would grant Arbiter form for me. Arbiter's Arbiter's wing strikes now seek nearby enemies and deal. I don't really know how this works. I've never really used it. I know it's really good. All your distances increase. Oh Jesus! Oh Jesus! That's so strong. Kills grant increase vulnerable damage at 50%. Damage reduced by. I feel like you kind of want this one or this one, and I don't really know. I see. I don't have anything that grants me Arbiter. Arbiter isn't ultimate. What did we pull down? Ultimate skill reduces cooldown. Your community have helped a ton. Thanks for that. Absolutely, man. Happy to help you. Max, good to see you, dude. Oh, Beef's got some guacamole. Radio Mason, how are you, brother? Excuse me. Evil Zons, what's up, brother? I thought you were already following me on Twitch. Well, the way I does this count as mobility? It does count as mobility. Okay, so what was that? What is this again? 75% cooldown rate while moving. That's cool. Little love tap. What's up, evil dude? Good to see you, man. I think I put a little too much lime, but that's easily solved by adding more avocados and also giving me more guac, so it's a win-win. The beef here's like the way I do avocado or guacamole, and it's not like it's a good recipe. Honestly, it's a good recipe, but it's like I wouldn't like go to like a Mexican restaurant and be like, you haven't had my guacamole. So I get it's got to be like a chunky salsa, and it has to be a chunky salsa that you would actually like get fresh, not just like, oh, it's Tostitos, nothing that shit. like a chunky salsa, and then you get a avocado or mini avocado for that matter, and you score them vertically, then you score them horizontally, so they make little cubes, and you scoop it out with a spoon, put it into a bowl, you mix it with you don't mix it yet, you put in salt, garlic pepper, cayenne pepper, onion powder, lime to taste. Lime is not like I don't really use a lot of lime. And then you just scoop in the chunky salsa, and that's it. That is honestly it. I mean, yeah, you could go the whole route of make everything fresh, but if it's a fresh chunky salsa, it's just pretty much the same principle. It's a difference between buying salsa like in a salsa aisle versus buying salsa at like the deli counter or like at an actual mercado. Okay. Me following the meta? I'm not following the meta. Arbiter, I just know, is technically better. Making vid of games popping. What do you mean? Or do you mean like following the meta of games that are coming out? Is that what you mean? Neurospicy, I'm happy to, I'm not happy, I am sad to hear that, man, but I'm happy to see you here. Shoot, Alpha Blue's fucked up on Tullamore Dew. You know, I'm a big believer that, you know, one door closes for two to open, so hang in there. Losing a job is not oftentimes the worst thing. Sometimes it's a blessing in disguise, so just kind of keep the faith, keep the faith, dude. It'll work out for the better, I'm sure. I mean, did you love your job? This is beautiful. Yeah, man, I can tell, Alpha. You all right, brother? All right, so I want this. This is gonna level up 3 of these fucking things.
Very well. That settles it.
So I'll record my Paladin build video here today. Oh, Teamsters Union, damn. Oh man, I'm sorry, brother. I'm sorry, that's fucking miserable. Well, hey dude, you're here with us? Well, at least you're in a union, Neuro. So a little bit less scary, I would say, right? Well, I'm glad you're here, Alpha. Glad to have you, man. You've always been a staple of the channel with the folk and the bros, so happy to take your mind off things. Oh, dude, it's Scroto Sagans. How you doing, man? Dino, thank you so much for 7 up with Prime. That's our first Prime of the day. Guys, if you have a Prime, if you know how to use this month, use it on me.
A new subscriber arrives. It fills you with determination.
Yeah, man, you know. This is a good. Hell yeah, brother. It's you know, hard times aren't fun. No matter what, no matter how you look at it, you know. I'm a big believer though that you can't have success without adversity, and you know, death is a totally different thing though, you know, like it just never gets easier, right? Death is never an easy thing to deal with, and I feel like those bad days are the ones that really color the good ones. You get a better appreciation for when things are going well. You do, unfortunately, they'll get those days where you're like, things are going too well. When's that piano gonna drop, you know? And nothing in life. I mean, things very rarely stay bad, right? Like, the only time they stay bad is when it's the end of the line for you. Which is terrible, but things always get better. Times always get better. Things always get better. And it's, I think we lose sight of that when we're in the midst of it, because it's very horrible. It's very hard. But, you know, think of where we were in 2020, you know, and for some people that was, it's hard to believe that 2020 and all the things that attach to it were even a thing sometimes. But I have faith, Neuro, that you'll get through it. Things will work out. I was almost done with building my L standing desk. We did end up going with cherrywood. Ooh, cherrywood. So cherry, I told you cherrywood's gonna get darker, right? If it's in the sun at all, it's gonna start getting darker and darker. Yeah, and it's like, I hope that, like, me saying, like, hey, one door closes so two can open, it sounds like a turn of phrase axiom, like that it's an easy thing to say when someone's going through a hard time, but I truly believe that. Like, I tell that to people all the time. And, you know, there's a reason those little, like, turn of phrases exist, because usually they're things, you know? I have two friends constantly lying about feeling it is unhelpful, just let it out. Let's council work and get some whiskey and cry. Hell yeah, brother. Dude, I'm a big believer of that, man. Like the dudes who are like, don't cry, I'm like, come on, man. Crying is the most purifying feeling, dude. Like when you've been bottling shit up and you let out like a belter, man. You just get one of those nights where you go out with your friends, even or just stay in, whatever it is. You get good and drunk and you just break down. Like as long as it's like a resourceful cry, not like a hey, this is the cry at the end. It's a purifying feeling and you kind of feel alive after, right? You're like, oh, all right, let's pick the pieces up and keep moving. Makes you feel good. Makes you feel good. Hell yeah, there you go, man. Winter closing open, I was getting burned out after almost 8 years of 55 plus hours to 950 miles a week. All right, so I can piss on everything in Torment 4. I think it's time. I was trying to wait until I got the next item in this set before moving on. Yeah, man, just hang out. Alpha, here to help out, here to answer questions. Alpha, what games are you excited for? That's a question for you. Been going from home 4 days out of the week. I moved to Spokane, Washington. You moved to Spokompton 8 years ago. But I spent only about 4 years actually living there. So digress though. Well, yeah, you know, man, like, so sometimes a Star Wars racer, dude. I mean, hey, people are stoked on Star Wars Batman. Lego Batman. Star Wars Batman. Could you imagine? Alfred, I'm a Jedi. Did I complete this? Sure did. I was working towards another one of these. He's one of the strongest. Alfred. I am not weak. I am strong. 15 more willpower. Turns on a lot of damage mode. Oh, nope. 15 more willpower. 15 more willpower. I'm stupid. I think we start moving out. King Rat, it might be, dude. I can't remember the merchants' names. It's Shi Gong. I do need an ancestral red sermon. Same voice actor? Okay. Let's pump this up to 5. Let's see if we can handle 5. I'm pretty sure we can. Uranium Fox, what's up, man? Darkness with a resub up as well. Thank you, bro.
You with determination.
Always good to have you guys around. Thank you so much. Oh, shit. I don't even have like optimized rune words in my shit. Rune words, I think, are the rune words, you know, for as they crushed the addition. Oh, fuck yes, dude. Oh my god, I can't wait to see what this build does now. They crushed adding in sets. Sets are so fun, but they really, in my opinion, they just really didn't hit rune words too well. I think rune words are really boring, and they're kind of tedious, and they kind of don't make sense at first blush. I think it takes a little time to look at them. You're like, huh. Okay, so this is the only one that gives me. Oh, I need 5 slots. Okay, so Dauntless Faith, max life. See, unfortunately, this will do. I want that attack speed though. Attack speed's so huge for this build. Let me pop this bitch in there. Oh man. Zealot skills now deal 200% increased damage. Every 5 stacks of do or die, you gain stores a Zealot after image. Okay. And move periodically spawn. And moving periodically spawns your restored after image. I don't know how it works, but I'm excited to see what it works. How it works. Dude, D2 Resurrected is amazing. It's so good. Uranium, we were just talking about Star Wars Racing, but I have not seen the real one. All right, let's see how what this does to the old buildy poo. The one big thing that I'm using right now here is, so my attack speed bonus is only 16% on paper. Ignore that. Do not play Darkness. If you can, just skip Vessel of Hatred. It's gonna really piss you off. I don't remember who I sent you to. Most of the people I send people to are usually pretty cool, pretty nice. I mean, yeah. Wait, what is that anything normal? No. Yeah, I know, but the story. But honestly, the story is not good in Vessel of Hatred, and Lord of Hatred recaps it in like the first opening portion. I mean, I want you to do what you want, and I want you to have fun. So if you're enjoying it, just stick with it. Okay. I just didn't want you to play Vessel and go, no, I don't want to play this anymore. This is shit. Without getting to like the good story. Oh, this is wild looking. Some people love D4, base D4, some people hate it. I liked it a lot because I liked the morally ambiguousness of it. It wasn't like you were kind of like, did I do the right thing? Did I make a mistake? Versus like D1, 2, 3 it's clear cut what the good and the evil is, right? This time you're dealing with shades of evil. That's it, right? Like Inarius is not evil per se, but you're a fucking mistake, Midge. Yeah, did I choose a lesser of 2 evils? And I think that it makes for an interesting story because, oh dude, that is sick. That is sick. Holy shit. Because Inarius, while not like directly evil, he is like, not chaotic good, but he is like neutral evil, you know? Like he's just kind of, oh, I forgot. These Bloodseekers always fuck me up because I always press the button that sends me into the center of them, and that's what kills you. Yeah, just like Dune, everybody's pretty much kind of bad. I can't. You know, I was watching Mortal Kombat last night. Does it? What beginning blurb? The new, I'm seeing the second one tomorrow. But the new Mortal Kombat 1, yeah, the one came out 3 years ago. But I was watching on HBO Max and I saw Dune Prophecy, and it kind of bummed me out because I remember how much fun I was having playing Dune, The Awakening, and how that kind of just ended up just becoming a typical Funcom game. Although Conan just released into Unreal 5. Cool. That's really weird, Darkness. No, I've never. It might be part of the story. As you do story quests, the mercenary leaves, but I don't think I turned the mercenary on until after I did the story because I forgot to. Because I had a lot of fun playing Dune, and I thought it was a great game, but they just kind of they didn't really like properly support it, and so it kind of ended up fading away. And now they're completely removing PvP. Yeah, I hate that. Like, that is the Dune universe. Yeah, so the graphical update. Yep. I mean, we can play Dune or Conan on Saturday if you guys want, rather than Windrose. Or that or Crimson Desert. It's either going to be Windrose, Conan, or Crimson Desert on Saturday. Slay the Blood Maiden. I could probably go to Torment 6 or 7. Really? Oh, that's because you've been playing with your daughters, right? Oh, look up Demonologist, Midge. You guys would like Demonologist a lot. Well, the problem was that the Deep Desert was getting really toxic, and it was getting really, they were constantly balancing over blood exploitation versus bug exploitation versus, hey, we need to figure this out in a different way. And the factions were so skewed from server to server. The very few servers had 50-50. It was almost all Harco or all Atreides. And so you just had, they figured people would balance themselves, and it didn't happen. And the Deep Desert just kind of became a land of trolls and people using exploits to destroy people's ornithopters and stuff like that. It was, dude, like when people played by the rules, like just straight up thopter combat was so fun. No, you're right. I'm just talking about in general. Like the faction stuff was causing imbalance, and then people's like, music's a little intense. I think one of the problems I really kind of hate in the gaming industry right now is there's min-maxing, and then there's like, I don't know how to approach this subject really. There are content creators that don't just focus on min-maxing, they focus on the min-maxing through exploitation to like just the umpteenth degree. Because for them, it's, why wouldn't you do the absolute best way to do this? And it then creates a conversation of why aren't you doing it that way? And yeah, exactly. Like Spiff does it because it's such a joke, right? He's making such a meme out of this, and he's not saying, hey, how can I break the game abusively? He's like, how can I make cheese wheels be the prime currency in all of Skyrim, right? Like there's such a comedy to that. Comedy of errors, as it were. But there was a pretty big culture in Dune of content creators that were like, you need to basically min-max frame abusing, the way that the game activates certain abilities and stuff like that. And it caused a big issue because the people that were seeking to get ahead were just consuming that content. And then what would have normally been isolated bugs became widespread gameplay methodology. And that, I think, is what really killed. I fucking hate Vessel of Hatred, dude. This is the land from Vessel of Hatred, all of Karast, Nahantu. And it's so shit. It's just the worst thing that they've done. Because the monster density here is all fucking weird. It just is really crappy. You have to run to all these little stupid things. Ugh. Have I told you how much I don't like Vessel of Hatred? I think it'll be fun when we start doing like stream series about games that are not. I mean, you brought this up, Evil Zons. No, that's way better. But now mounts go so fast that it's easy to like run into the wall like this. Evil Zons, are you still watching? You know, it wasn't though, Hank. So it wasn't at first, right? And then once you complete everything in the end game, it is, right? It goes from like, ooh, this is the end game. This is super fun and it's difficult. And then you make plasteel and you make all the best stuff and you're like, it's not it anymore. It was gonna be, yeah. It was supposed to force people into it. And now they've said like, no, PvP will now be entirely optional. I was like, they just did. They just said, hey, it's now entirely optional. See, I hate this shit. Correct. You can get close to it, Darkness. They have one ability that is a permanent summon, but the rest of them are temporary quick little summons that you use as abilities. You can have them come up for set durations, but not as long as a Necro. Dude, this is the first season where I've wanted to make more and more characters. I'm having a lot of fun with Diablo. And really, honestly, like, people are like, so they didn't change the endgame. I'm like, they did. They have one active pet, yes, through one ability. They did change the endgame, and I think the endgame was, honestly, the change it needed. Look at, I hate this. There's all this, nothing can exist in these little pockets. Like, the war plans is a real simple system to take all of it seamlessly together rather than having to run all the way around, man. Like, it just feels so much better. And I'm not just saying that because I did a contract with Blizzard. Because their contract was just like, hey, just talk about the systems that we're at. That was it. I would never do like a paid review. No fucking thank you. It doesn't force you to play them. Corporate shill, dude. You know, the people that say corporate shill, they just wish they could get paid by the companies that they play the games for, you know? Like, and then people are like, oh man, why do YouTubers get everything? I'm like, because I suck cock. Like, clearly, like, I literally make videos. I'm free advertising for these companies. Like, this is not like a privilege. This is it's wild. It's hard. Paid reviews are not allowed. You can pay someone to play, you can pay someone for a contract, and they can choose to make a review. But if they've, usually that contract though will say something like, please don't disparage the game without like due course. Like, critique the game, but don't make a video just shitting on it. If you're gonna shit on it, just cancel the contract with us. And I think that's totally fine, right? Like, you don't want to pay someone to shit on your game, but you want to pay someone to give you value criticism, I would think, you know? Let's choose wisely. Well, that's another thing too, right? If you have any kind of business acumen, you know, there's one thing to... I like to think I make pretty honest content. I don't like to think that maybe when you guys watch my content, you're not thinking, wow, his opinion is bought. You might think my opinion's biased. It definitely is, right? Like, I have a Diablo bias. For sure. Josh, what is up, man? How are you? Oh, fuck. But I would hope you would never watch my content and think, this motherfucker's been bought out. What about those bloodseekers? But some people, content creators, there are content creators that make really like incendiary content, and oh my god, stop calling! Oh my god, Midge, this is a family stream. We would never talk about cocksucking on this channel. They make very incendiary content, which do deserve, that's their prerogative. That's what they want to do, and that's what they find value in. Who am I to say that that is wrong? And I'm not saying again that it is wrong, but I'm saying from a long-term business perspective, I would never bite the hand that feeds, right? Like, a lot of my yearly income comes from contract work. Just little things like, hey, make a video for the game coming out. Sure, done. Hey, play this game for us. Absolutely, done. I'm happy to do it if I'm already going to play the game. There are like Raid Shadow Legends emailed me again, and they were like, we want to do an ad slot. And I was like, 15,000. And they're like, we couldn't possibly do it for that much. And I was like, fine, 17,000. Like, cause I mean, 30 seconds, I'll get Raid Shadow money, like Raid Shadow Legends money, like whatever. That's not selling my soul. That's like, if you think your ad placement is actually going to have value and not just a meme that I can make money off of, well, sure, I'll do it. But you know, taking a hard line, a really mean hard line against a developer, and it's one thing again to critique a game. It's another thing to lambast and say, what the fuck are these developers thinking? They're so fucking stupid. Do they play their fucking game and all that? Like, you build enough bad blood, and you don't just get blacklisted from that developer. That developer tells other developers not to work with you. And I've been fortunate to make really good contacts in the industry that have allowed me like to get access to games that I would not have gotten access to at the size I got access to them. Stuff like that. And it didn't come from like bootlicking or anything. I just did not release mean incendiary content. I just tried to be on the level about anything. I realized that people that for the worst game in the world, there are still someone that's actually going to enjoy it. So if I just release just straight up, because my content's guide content, right? Like just guide content talking about that game. That's all I need to do. You know, I don't find the value in having an opinion on YouTube about the gaming industry, which is already very tribal and incendiary. Like, I'm going to be wrong is my point, no matter what. And it's just not a level of like headache and plaque I need to deal with. What's the choose wisely thing you're talking about, Darkness? Josh, how you been, man? Good to see you, by the way, bro. I need, like, how many more? 6 more? Yeah, 6 more. Leave this terrible place. I think I had made a video. I was thinking about Diablo and Path of Exile, and someone in the comments made a comment and said, "Take a stand, you coward." I was like, I was saying that Diablo is really good for gamers that like this, and Path of Exile is really good for gamers that like this, and they both have their merit. I think we're so accustomed to clicking on a video like that and being like, Diablo is shit or Path of Exile is shit, and this is why, and you should never play these games. And it's like, dude, what does that get you? You know, like that level of aggression. That's bad for your soul, man. You gotta let that hurt go. It just infects every fucking thing you do at that point. Dude, look at this. 2 different spin to wins. I know, right? Sometimes I wish I had that level of like zeal and anger. Just don't. I think it's because I've already gone through my days of being... Oof, that's even more cooldown reduction. That's pretty good. I've gone through my days of being that edgy shitboard that was always angry all the time. Oh yeah, dude, Bo, I was gonna... When is that? That's like in an hour? Or is it right now? Or is it in 10 minutes? 1 p.m. Bo, tell me the time, bro. In an hour or 10 minutes? 1 hour? Okay, cool. Yeah, we're gonna watch because I want to see what the champion's like. And I'll turn this over to a I'll switch it to Path of Exile so you guys can get the drop for it. I don't think I'll do content on it. I don't think people... I think when these games first come out, I have value. But I don't think I provide much long-term value into the ARPG realm because I don't long-term cover these games, you know what I mean? The biggest thing is, Bo, what they need to do is they need to remove the campaign. They need the campaign to be a once and done. Because I think one of the biggest strengths Diablo has over Path of Exile right now is once you complete the campaign for Diablo, you don't do it again until a DLC. And I think they should do that. You don't play the campaign again in Path of Exile until they add story content. Boom. Keep me locked in every single season, whatever it is. I don't have to repeat content that I think their campaign is very long and it's tedious. And I think it's like if you just okay. I don't want to jump into it. Okay, I need to get the hell out of here and go. I got a minute to go find this other one. Fuck is it? It's over there. We're gonna make it today. I have a link for it though. Yeah, but like, do you want to do that campaign every time that they make a new season? That's my biggest gripe with it. I don't think I can get there in time. Get there. 3, 2, fucking that. Now I'm not gonna get there for sure. Son of a bitch. I gotta wait 5 minutes to get to the next one. That sucks. Should have just opened up a blank chest. I got greedy. Yeah, 1 time per season, I can be okay. I can see that as a compromise. But, oh, guys in chat, say hi to Larizzle. If you don't know who Larizzle is, he is one of the premier shadow boxers on UO Outlands. He used to do a little bit of amateur snuff porn, got off of that whole shtick, and then decided to get into Ultima Online Outlands. And here he is, dude. Guys, go check him out. He's fucking hilarious. He's a good companion of mine. He's my ass brother. Give me health and a skill grants you. Do I not have this on there yet? Accelerating. Better have it on here. Oh my god, really? Yeah, I'm an industry fellow. It was fun, dude. It was fun. I was waiting for you to come out there. Pissed you didn't. Pissed you didn't. Do I not have penitent? It's in like the build concept. I'd love to hear that. So take a look at this. I don't know if this is activating twice. So this amulet has the bottom. My head's probably blocking it. Zealot skill, lucky hit. Zealot skills have up to a 20% chance to heal you. This is Zealot skills have up to a 20% chance. It's the same legendary aspect. I think when you do a transfiguration onto an amulet, it can have duplicate legendaries and they will both be active. Versus if I were to imprint this, it would not allow it to be active. You can't have two of the same legendaries.
Mainlander, what do you seek?
Sounds good, Lance. It's not for everybody, brother. It is, but the sword is easy to get. If you don't have the sword, you would go sword and shield, and you would use the aspect that makes it so when you use a one-handed weapon, it increases your attack speed. Okay, so I can make this work. So I need to put... Have you played the new thing at all, man? How do you get the sword? You go do the butcher. Yeah, we're gonna watch it when it goes live in an hour, Lair. Or Thorin. So you can watch it here with me and get access or get credit for the thing if you want. Okay, so I need to... Yo, 91, how you doing, man? This is...
You know where to find me.
You'll know where to find me. What was the name of that one? Penitent. I don't think. I think that's I think it's an attack one. Penitent. Okay. So, of course, dude. Here, let me. I'll give you this. This is the working build of this. You can follow along. It's got different aspects than I'm currently wearing, though. So just heads up. I will publish it just for you, dude. Here you go. Fuck yeah, sounds good, man. Ryan, you bet. Honestly, good time to drop off because the expansion was not good. This expansion's amazing. The Paladin was really well done. It's like a combination of the Diablo 2 Paladin, the Diablo 3 Crusader, and a WoW Paladin. So it has, you have like judgments that you do, like a judgment that from like WoW, and you can trigger that judgment and judgment blows up. It's really cool. Okay, how can I move some shit around? So here's what okay. Thank you, Daddy. Let's run through my stuff real quick. We have coagulation, so we gain 30% increased fortify and fortified generation and 15% DR while fortified. That was not an actual intended aspect, but I've got it, and it's pretty good because we're fortified all the time. While wielding a two-handed sword, gain 32% DR, 40% DR. I need this one. I think this one's pretty crucial. This one also crucial. Additional hits from Zealot Oath deal up to 120% increased damage. Your max fervor is increased by 1, and its duration is increased by 2 seconds. So having 4 fervor is huge. We'll get to it when we get to it in a bit. Casting a skill heals you for 2, let's just say 3% of your max life. Double this bonus while injured. So any skill heals me, and I'm casting Zeal all the time, so I'm constantly healing with Undying. Now this one is lucky hit. Zealot skills have a 20% chance to heal you for 6% of your missing health. I could do without this one, I think. I want this one. Spending health on a skill, which is what I'm currently doing with Zeal. Spending health on a skill grants you up to 15% crit chance and up to 55% crit damage. We are focusing on crit strike and damage and speed. So this is really big for the build when we can get to it. Amulet has Edge Masters, so skills deal up to 74% increased damage based off your available primary resource when cast. We will always have full resource. So this is a free 90% damage buff. There's no reason not to have this. Receiving the max benefit while you have full primary resource. Then I transfigured this to have this exact same legendary. So this has 2 legendaries on it. This also, critical strikes with core skills increase your attack speed by up to 50%. And while fortified, you'll deal up to 65% increased damage. We're constantly fortified. We're never not fortified. So this is 65% free damage as well. I think the 15% DR from this isn't terrible, but maybe it's not as good as I think it is in my brain. There might be a better option here. We don't use basics really. And that's another thing. I might drop my basic. I've got advanced, but I like never use it. Even though it does give me some critical chance. It gives me 5% crit chance. It's kind of whatever, right? Interesting impairment. To a barrier. I mean, this isn't bad because it's a free barrier, but we already have. You need either barrier or fortify. You need something for like pure, like good defense in an upper scale build. Right now, this I have got fortify, so I'm not too worried about barrier. But barrier is pretty good either way. Using this potion increase all resistances. Each crowd controlled enemy. I think weak counts as a crowd control. It's a utility I can put on here. No. Like Imperious, looks like Imperious Turd Ferguson. There's close ones are good too. Not this one. We'll get to it. I don't know if I crowd control. Weaken is not a crowd control, I don't think. Everything weakens that I've got. I got weaken, vulnerable. Those are the two things I focus on. Yeah, weaken is a debuff for sure, but I just didn't know if it counts as one. And you can't hover over that underlined word. This is the one I was thinking of. Every 1.5 seconds, let's just say at max, distant enemies are pulled into you and take 15% increased damage from you for 3 seconds. This effect cannot occur while you are stealth. I'm never going to be stealth, so I'm constantly pulling enemies into me. This might be worth trying out. We'll pop it on, I think. We'll see how losing this is, right? Like, this is a bottom rolled coagulation too, so I'm not too worried about it. I want to get something. I want to get this off of this too, because I already have this basically. Mobility, anything cool here? I don't have a lot of good ones. I don't do any of those, unfortunately. Turd, I think this is the best time to come back. Vessel of Hatred was not amazing. I've said it many times, even in this stream. But this is a good time if I need to come back, yes. Yeah, there's just, I can't think of what I would swap out. I need Red Sermon because I need that the Zeal deals more damage for sure, but I gain Death or Glory for free, and Death or Glory is the Whirlwind one. It does this. Zeal cleaves in a lot. Nope. Zeal costs 10% max life instead of faith and strikes around you in a circle. Whenever you lose life, Zeal's damage increases by 60% and crit strike by 20%. In addition, I also have Call the Wicked. Zeal's cleave is larger, gains 2 additional strikes, and deals 25% increased damage to weakened enemies. And I'm always weakening things. Dude, that's Star Fox. Oh, I know, Ryan. That's Star Fox 64, man. I was like, holy shit. Do I not have Revelators on here? I don't have any of my fucking Zeal. Or no, I mean. Okay, so this one. We already have it. We already have it. What's this one? Stack of Fervor grants you damage. See, I don't have Jacques' Fervor, and I don't have Revelator's Aspect on. Because I constantly have 4 stacks of fervor. So this would give me 32% skill damage plus, or double that. So that makes it 75. Nope. No, it does not. It makes it 65%. And this one too, each stack of fervor grants you 20 or 15%, well, 20% bonus crit strike damage. So that could be up to 80% additional crit strike. And my crit strike right now, chance is 21%. I wish you could like pull this out to see, but watch what happens when I start to attack things. So I did the Warlock build video, and I think I need a new system for these build videos. Oh, what up, Iwar? I think me going through the build, me going through each choice of skill, that takes 10 minutes before you even get into everything else. Is that worth it for you guys? So this is a bad example, but crit strike only went up to 38% here. It'll go up to like 100 and something. Let me see if I can run around and try and keep this open to show you. But my attack speed bonus going up is also, that went up to 40 something. It gets up to like 50, 60, whatever it is. Maybe it doesn't get up to 100. But my attack speed bonus though, yeah, that went up to like over 100. We have this. You deal increased damage equal to 65% of your bonus attack speed. So if we get up to 100% of our bonus attack speed, then we get 65% additional damage. And I don't know if that is multiplicative. So I don't know if it's additive or multiplicative. It doesn't have a signal or a little thing right there. But the two things I think I want to change, I think I might remove advance, and I might put down another aura, just to have more survivability. Truly, that's the biggest thing. It's damage is not a thing that I'm worried about. I'd probably just put in the Defiance aura for free resistance, free armor, and then free health. In fact, let's try that out. No, don't do it. Put this here. It's gonna be weird because I'm gonna accidentally click that fucking thing, dude. Okay, let's see how this goes. Oops, I put a back door on. Great. Dude, how did it feel for you? Because I know so Midge and I are we have a similar conundrum. We both have exceptionally not cool penises, like very subpar inside, but man, I have a set of balls that are massive, and if I sit down too fast, I'll crush those fuckers. Standard edition. I kind of like, already I like the increased survivability of this. Although I can tell my Fortify is not as jacked as it was. Because I guess I was clicking left click a lot. AC and DC. Holy shit. Having this thing suck people in is really nice, though. Nikolai and Thomas, Edison and Tesla. Now the other option here too is to replace Zenith with Arbiter, and that's probably the more optimal option. But I love Zenith, man. This is a mobility skill for me. Like, look how sick that is. And as long as I hit like, I think it's like 15 targets, 6 targets, whatever it is, it reduces the cooldown that I can just keep using it. I mean, we're on Torment 6 and we're handedly peeing on things. So I think we push ourselves into Torment. Oh, on Torment 5. We'll push ourselves into Torment 6. Hell yeah, Darkness. Guys, if you're watching over on YouTube, don't forget to make the switch to Twitch. And if you have a Prime sub you've not yet used, use it. Use it on me. Let's go up here. I think that's already done with, though. The problem, though, is if I switch to Arbiter, we're already so jammed up.
Expands. Praise the
Captain Chillin', what's up, brother? We're already so jammed up with our aspects that it's hard to. Hey, thanks, Midge. It's hard to kind of justify pushing into any of the Arbiter aspects. Oh, here we go. Not that they're not worth it. It's that it's like Arbiter is not the key focus of this build because I'm not using Disciple. I'm using Zealot, and I've already stacked so many other things. Dude, have you guys seen the set that I'm using? The Zealot set? It's disgusting. We'll take a look at it after this. 20? I don't know. I'll do it. Rubbing my nipples ain't no big deal for me, baby. But I don't like that you're trying to compare me to Kiento. That hurt. That hurt right there. Sure, this is the build. Dude, Twitch was like moderated that. What, Midge, aren't you That's the build for this. It's like the beta build of this where I started. I have since gotten rid of Stalwart Advance, the boot, the unique boot. Ooh, that's a hefty ping, milady. One of my problems with games like this is like a Blizzard game problem I'm having right now is like there's just so much shit going on. Like, how do you keep track of all this crap? You can do whatever you want. Mr. Madan, how you doing, man? Good to see you, my brother. Oh, let's go turn this in. Like, I don't have to go searching on an external website to find this chest anymore. Although I did like why they originally had done that. Like, it's kind of like a cool. Oh, you gotta find the chest of mysteries now. Like, no. Oh, no. I'm not gonna die to that right now. It'll piss me off. There it is. So does anyone have any opinions on things that they would like that hey, you know what? I know builds really well. This is what I would change with it. Anything like that. Again, I know that Zenith is not the meta pick, but I think it's really cool. I don't know how I necessarily feel about having two auras. Kind of... Not that I hate auras. It's just that I feel like everyone uses them, overuses them. Oh yeah, get fucked, guy. I expect my mods to be a certain level of tyrannical mid. Okay. I keep wanting to try a druid, but druid's just not the D2 druid, which is like my favorite druid, you know, like. So I definitely lose interest in it. So what you want to do is you want to stockpile 5 of all of the sets, because it doesn't matter which ones you've got. See, I've got duplicates here. You can just simply go to the Heraldric Cube and roll them into whatever version you want. All sets have the same runes on them. This is all 5 of the runes. I go to the Heraldric Cube and I can just roll this into a different version of this set item. So if I need this symbol, I could just simply roll it again. And I was trying to just simply get any fucking extra one. I couldn't. Yes, they did add that quite a bit ago, though. So, and also you see this little thing at the bottom that says resistance to all elements, Heaven's Radiant Fire. Heaven's Radiant Fire is the name of a set. So that becomes active if we're using this one. So right now you can see that I'm using Cathan's Dauntless Faith. That gives me access to the Zealot skill cooldown. It's apparently very rare to see something like this, an additional +1 charm to have 6 on there. It's even further rare to see 2 of the same thing on there. 2 of the same set. Do you like Path of Exile, Mr. Mad And? Or is Path of Exile too overwhelming for you? And it's okay to say yes. It sounded like that wasn't like a baited question, like you fucking noob. I'm saying like, if the approach of an ARPG hack and slash, which is what these games are, if Path of Exiles looks too overwhelming, like I don't want to get involved in a constellation, I don't want to do all that, this game is perfect for you. I think this is the best the game's been in that I'm actually interested in making other characters. Like I have a warlock already to 70. Like I have actually, this is the first time since the beginning of the game that I've been interested in making new builds. Do we need to have 3 separate fucking shouts of the same thing? Announcement that there's an announcement in all the same channels on all of our. I gotta leave some of these guild channels, man. Okay, it's time to move into the next one. Let's see how that goes. Let's. Oh, go to here. It's Act 3, Midge. Act 3 is the worst in the new stuff. The new Act 4 is pretty cool. And then the interim acts are better. So Haladank, it's because majority of builds just focus on the. It's because majority of the builds, their judgment is just so broken. That's what that's why I'm trying to take this build deeper. I'm trying to make this build work by trying to shore up a lot of the DR issues that paladins have, that judgment overtakes. Judgment doesn't deal with it because it's not up close and personal. What do you mean, 90x? I thought about that. I could definitely do it. Like as I talk about each skill, just showing that skill, using that and repeat. Yeah, I could do that. Actually a really good fucking idea. You should be a streamer. And I'm stealing it from you. Let's juice ourselves up to 7 and see how it goes.
Once I get started,
what I'm trying to do with this Haladank is we're using attack speed to juice up our damage big time. I'm running lots of Fortify, and I'm trying to keep DR into Fortify, or at least DR into something, so I'm not pure damage. I'm trying to offset a lot of our health draw from our abilities with health returning aspects. We just put Defiance Aura into here, and I might spruce it up a little bit more, actually. No, you're good, you're good. In fact, let's bring this just to 1,000. Maybe a little bit. I consecrate a lot, but consecrate doesn't. Just trying to offset some damage, some health there. Lesser runes, lesser project cube materials, for sure. I don't remember which one's pragmatic. Which is pragmatic. So yeah, that's a problem I'm having right now with, like, if I make a build guide for this game, the first 10 minutes are me and this screen talking about the choices I've made for the skills, rather than me explaining why I went through all these options. Would a better build guide be just saying, like, just showing gameplay and overlaying Zeal, and then saying I'm using Zeal here as our primary damage vehicle. Zeal is going to help weaken things for us. Also, in addition to it, we're going to be using Red Sermon to pull a lot of benefit out of Zeal, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. In addition to, as far as passives go that are constantly being augmenting the character, we're using Fanaticism Aura, which is going to grant us attack speed, which is going to give us cascading amounts of damage, as well as critical strike chance, because there is a big focus on crit in this build. It's also an active button for weaken. Defiance Aura, which is going to grant us, of course, unstoppable if we ever need it, but it's a passive bonus to our armor, resistance, healing amount, and I have the passive on here that's going to give us 15% additional max health. As far as some additional actives later in the tree, we'll be using Falling Star as our right click or our other capability that's going to help weaken things, vulnerable things, and also give us a prime mobility skill that's always going to be off cooldown for the most part, and it's a nice damage spike ability. In addition to, we're going to be using Consecration when we're going to be seeing lots of big spawns. This is, of course, going to help us out with healing, but it also turns on lots of damage for everything inside of it. And it is another form of both Fortify and Weaken. For our capstone ability, we'll be going with Zenith. Not all, it's kind of a dark horse selection here, but it does help increase critical strike damage. It's again another source of Weaken. And lastly, it is a nice mobility skill to help us move around when we're in a pinch. So if that was like the skill selection portion of the video, do you think that that is more helpful to you than me going, okay, so you're going to be choosing Zeal. Zeal's going to be great here. We're going to be using Red Sermon because it's going to be adding tons of damage to us. What we're going to be then going for passive-wise is the Fortify. Fortify is going to be big for this build because we're eschewing any kind of barrier. This is going to be our additional insulation method across any kind of big single hit swings. Then we're going to use additional critical chance on this because it will always be attacking weakened enemies. So we'll get 12% free crit chance on this. Now we're going to get 2 capstone passives. Death or Glory, because we're using Red Sermon, so we'll be using Life as a resource, meaning we're constantly going to be at max resource pool, and whenever you lose life, we're going to deal 60% increased damage and crit chance by 20%. Lastly, we'll have Call the Wicked, which will deal 25% increased damage to weakened enemies, and we get 2 additional strikes with the larger cleave. That would be a per skill breakdown. Which do you guys think is better if you click a build guide? Do you want me just to kind of give you the high level of why I chose each skill while you're seeing gameplay? Kind of like how Fextra Life does it, if I'm being honest. That's kind of his shtick. Caffeine is ripping through me at 1,000 miles a minute, you can fucking tell. Midge, that fucks my brain up. I like the second thing you did. Do the third one. I was like, oh. The best thing is that keeps going as I walk now because of this set item, and it's fucking Bustamante, dude. One day my brother and I were just kind of like, just watching TV. Like we're just, you know, back in like the late 90s, early millennium, when that's what you did with your brothers or friends. Just click channel surf, which used to be a concept. And we were kind of like ripping through, like all the ESPNs are in one block on our cable growing up. And I think we had gotten to, I don't remember if it was Trick Shot or not backgammon. What's the fucking billiards? Billiards. It was either billiards or Trick Shot on ESPN. And the way those guys announce that is like a tennis match or like a golf match. Like in between shots, of course, they're nice and big and loud, but when they're going to take the shots, it's whispered and quiet, right? And we also used to watch a lot of poker. Same thing there. Oh, shit. So that's where I got the word Bustamante, because it's a pool cue company. Because it was a trick shot tournament or again, whatever. And this guy's like lining up and goes, there he goes. Let me see Steven over here. He's recently new to the billiards game. Using the Bustamante cue. And it's a little bit of a peculiar pick here because Bustamante is known for having a bit more springiness. Takes a shot. Oh, and there it goes. Bustamante helping him out. And now it just becomes like a term now for us of just like, man, that was really good. Because it sounds like it would be something like that. Yo, what's up, Kier? Okay, so we're hitting a little bit of resistance now with the build in 7. So I either need to... So I don't think damage is the problem. I think it's just straight up survivability. That tells me that, like, as I go to push into, like, anything higher, I'm just going to be facing a lot of, like, oh, this one thing just killed me. Build's coming out really well, though. Like, I mean, it's a lot of fun. It's just pure destruction. But I think what if we did a little bit of... Oh, fuck you, eh? Oh, I can't do that in here. I was gonna say pull some points out of that and put it into the other one. I think it'll help out. You gotta watch out for execution. That's the fucking wild thing. What's if you have to throw it, make an enduring faith unique into a charm? Okay, let's take a look at that. Is that what is that? I know that. Is that that's a ring, right? I need a 6th charm slot. That's the problem. I need a 6th charm slot that is also Cafan's Undying Will or whatever the hell I've got right now. You did, but I need the set bonus. I guess I don't really need it, but I'd like it. Because having cooldown would be super nice. I guess I just go test it. I'll show you what I'm using in a second. They added Executioner in season 8 or 9, and it's rough because you sometimes you just can't. You lose track of it above your head, and it fucks you. It teaches you a hard lesson. I just broke down a bunch of legendary seals. Fuck. I didn't even process that, man. Oh shit, dude, I keep running through a bunch of bullshit here. Stop it. That's annoying. Okay, so we're done here. It is a very big pain in the ass because you just lose track of it and you need to go, why did I lose all my health? Thank you, Guild Pixel. It definitely is a build that needs like the Woody Joe or the Rax treatment. I'm sure they could see my build and go, this is what you need to change. Like, I'd really like to sit down with Bio Boy and ask him. Because I know there's probably like one or two, like there's some aspects I need to probably swap in here too. Penitent might be the good one, or the Fervor one might be good. We have to take a look at them. A unique charm. That's my first unique charm, I think. Judgment deals 90% increased damage, has a 33% chance to explode twice. I'd love to see what the other ones are. That's fucking crazy. That's fucking crazy. Okay, so leave this cursed place. I think it's a ring. Thought I had one. This. Oh, that's the cornet. No, I don't have an enduring faith. Thought I did. I'm pretty sure it's a ring. What's that on? It's on something. I should probably work on my rings now too. I've been hanging on to these rings because these rings are really solid. No, they're not. So you're saying right here, Kier, is just pop this bitch back in. Damn it, I got rid of so many of these. Oh no, I didn't. I think I saved them. Yeah, I got rid of a bunch of these, which is fine. I would need something that is a little bit better, though. I don't have anything cool. I would need an actual cool unique charm. The center node, all dots stop ticking when you use another step. Oh, it is a glove. Okay. I think I have it then. Oh, Fists of Fate is what I have. That's what I'm thinking of. Storage, they still need to do a better job of. It's gotten way better, but it needs to be better. So, what is this one? I need to get an exalted red sermon too. That'll help out with just damage. Actually, this isn't bad. Really? Yeah, but I need all the things for it. I don't have the things for it. I don't think I have any of the Beast and Ice things. Where is this? There it is.
I'll be here, swinging away. To it then.
Mainlander, what do you seek?
That might be better served in my necklace. Let's build a new helmet. I think I saved some material. I need to build helmets. I need an amulet, and I need rings. So I saved this ring. I want the attack speed on it. Lucky hit chance I don't give a shit about. Physical damage multiplier is nice. Strength is nice. I could just add to this. But these two rings are good bases. And I need a new. I think I also have a good helmet. Yeah, max life helmet. What is rolled? I mean, what do you mean by rolled? Oh, you mean the individual actual stat? I mean, no, the attack speed on this is the lowest of the range. But if we're talking just getting into that item power increased, even if I just simply put that in and put very little actual resources into it, it's the resistance bonus alone is worth it. You know what I mean? But we can. I think these legs are solid. No, they're not. So let's do this. What was that? Is it the helmet or the boots? Or the ring? Or the ring. Okay. Let me check something real quick. So I am now recording. Let's see how this recording looks after I go to check it. It might look really shoddy, but we're going to find out what's going on when I press stop and then check it. Recording will probably be overloaded because I now record on fucking 4K. Yeah, massive FPS drop. I thought. So I am now recording. Let's see how this recording looks after I go to check it. Yeah, huge FPS drop. Look really shoddy, but we're gonna find out. Yeah, too much of an FPS drop. Okay. So I probably won't be able to record on stream anymore.
No other people I'd rather break bread with.
Either going to be relentless while moving, and for 2 seconds after, you deal 80% increased damage and 30% cooldown reduction. And then we've got armor and movement speed, vulnerable damage and movement speed, cooldown reduction. Asatos, it's because I'm streaming and recording, and I'm streaming from 4K, downsampling it to 1440 for you guys. Resist all elements. What is this one? Endure is deals 90% increased damage while fortified. We're fortified all the time. We're moving all the time, so both of these are pretty good. What do you guys think? While moving and for 2 seconds after, you deal 80% increased damage and have 30% cooldown reduction. Or you deal 90% damage while fortified. It's just always there. This is lucky hit chance and strength and holy damage. Max life and healing received. Holy damage. The rest of this isn't so good. Relentless has better survivability, I think. More movement speed, which is nice. Relentless might be the way to go, I think. Thoughts, opinions. Water bottle, one second. Mm-hmm. Well, they're both damage, really. Let me see. I think I like... Well, moving and after you gain increased damage. I mean, cooldown reduction is nice. The movement speed on this is nice. I like the armor on this more. This just has... There's a 4% max life, which is nice. I think Relentless is the way. You stay away, brother. Yeah, I like the movement speed in here. I like the movement speed over here. Me too. Movement speed, it just... Moving through this game slow is just so... It's insufferable, man. I gotta make sure that we start turning on some of these rare nodes. Like, we can't just be sitting on... I didn't even think about the glyph that... my glyphs, I don't even have all the right glyphs online, which is huge, too. Like, we want Spirit. This is increased crit strike damage.
A new subscriber arrives. It fills you
Mars
with
Crimson, dude. Thank you for subbing up at tier 1, my bro. Fervorous, I also want. Damage. This is increased damage to close targets. Get 50% damage reduction against close targets. You deal increased damage to close targets. Appreciate it, man. Very kind of you, brother. Chip is nice. Physical damage increases the damage an enemy takes from you by 1% up to 15% for 15 seconds. And we're almost there. Does a crit strike generate 1 faith? Undaunted, we have to get online too. There is. There's keyword searching. I was just looking at stuff. Like if I go ahead and type in damage reduction. These are my DR ones. Undaunted is already on the board somewhere. That might be worth just turning on right now, actually. That's just 15% DR while fortified. Can I turn it on is the question. Thank you. I'll pull it up over here. It's on my other screen. We'll just go live when it's live. I'll pop it over when it's live. Willpower. %, Kier, I agree. So this would, I need 15 more. That'd be 5, 10. Yeah, that was another problem. I know Undaunted couldn't reach enough willpower to get it online right now, or else I would have it online right now. I don't disagree with you at all. Actually, I think... What I should do is this. Swap these two. I think this is, I can't remember what creature is. I think this is a willpower board. Daunted is right there. What did I have over there? Chip. Nope. Honed? Yes. No. Yeah, I think it was. Canny is 5 and 10 increase. Do you deal 10% increase non-physical? We are doing physical. So this is currently 0 of 25. So again, same problem. I wouldn't be able to turn it on, but I know I can turn on this over here. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I can't. Yeah, I can't. Oh, we got 7 minutes. Let's do this real quick. There is the pit. You know what? You're not wrong. I'll scoop these out. Also, I did those to turn on rares as well, though. But we could do scoop these out here. Hear this. We want that attack speed, so that's definitely one because that's raw damage increase for me. And then push 5 points towards movement speed and armor. Yeah, movement speed and armor probably. Vuln damage is nice, but you're not wrong. You're not wrong at all, dude. We'll drop 1 point into that just to have it, but then get to this. Yeah, that's there. Okay. We can go to Torment 7. Let's just see how it goes. I don't know if it'll be too hard or not, but we're not. Who gives a shit, you know? Oh, God. I hate this fucking thing. Dude, the whole like echoing ability like this and it just Zeal chases me while I walk is so sick.
I'm being followed.
I mean, the build holds up. Again, right? I don't think this is... I have not seen a good Zeal build this season. That's why I'm so intrigued by this build. But I'm afraid I'm going to hit a point where the build stops performing because of how crippling the higher levels are. I agree. I think you're constantly pushing points. I'm always pushing points in and out of builds. So I always think it's just better to try something, you know? So how do we feel damages? Should I be amping up damage? Well, I mean, we're going to amp damage more up when we get that legendary. I'm not too worried about it. In fact, by like 90%, so... But I'm just wondering, like... if I should be worrying about something different. I think also, too, getting a ancestral red sermon will be huge. Because I think it'll probably add another, like... I have no concept of what the additional... The biggest thing is to get the greater aspect on it, or greater affixes. Oh, did I miss it? Oh, look at that. Big booms. Because also, if I crit strike with this, or my Falling Star, it then will do Falling Star's echo. I'm just echoing Zeal because that's what I'm primarily using. But look, that's echoing Zenith. That's so fucking sick. You're probably not wrong, man, but Call the Wicked, I would just have to have that on the ability, I guess. That would just only be the only capstone I would have. Which is probably just fine, but I like the increased hit. Like, look at that. Look at that big, like, aura around me. Oh, just like one more hit. Oh, no. That's why I love the Zealadin was always one of my favorite builds. It was the very first Paladin build I ever made. And that's why I'm like, man, I really want to like pop this bitch in there. And that's what I did when I first played the Paladin. Well, I went like Holy Bolt on this, I mean. Oh, I pressed the wrong button, that's why. Shit. Okay, so let's get Chip to 25. Let's get... You deal increased crit damage. You deal damage. Is this the... Undaunted. It's just honed. Stop it. I'm trying to think. Increased damage. Okay, I want the DR on that. From level 1 to level 15. How fucking cool. Remember how tedious this process was? So much better now. Alright, we're about to start stream. Perfect timing. Let's swap on over to... I'm going to swap the actual stream to Path of Exile. So you guys can get the thing for watching.
So it's going to be a good one. Twitch drops are enabled on today's livestream, so you'll be able to claim the Red Queen's font hideout decoration by following the instructions below. Okay, so with that out of the way, time to roll the trailer for Path of Exile 2, Return of the Ancients.
Ooh.
Those in darkness who once lay dormant now return.
Remind me after this, Kier. I'm excited to see how the champion is.
We who came before rise again. Behold, the first edict.
Agreed. Same.
We become one.
I get too exhausted by the time I get to the end game where I'm like, I don't want to fucking play anymore. I think it's cool. Yeah, I burn out every time I go for the end game.
Hunt like it's your last.
Continue the search. See what you can find.
Ball temple in the core, that's kind of cool. Yeah, that's because so I did a debrief with them for the last I'll talk in a bit. Oh, hell yeah. So Druid gets an actual summon ascendancy. We needed that. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Monk continues to be one of the coolest classes in this game. Melee definitely does. Dude, Darth Microtransactions is going to make a video that says Path of Exile 2 just dropped a nuke on Diablo. I thought Champion was coming too.
So as you can see, there's just so much going on in Return of the Ancients, it's hard for even us to keep track of it all. Now we promised that this one was going to revamp the endgame, and I'm very excited to talk about it. But first, we've got to talk about the League. So to do that, I'm going to hand things over to Mark.
Hi, I'm Mark Roberts, Game Director on Path of Exile. Now, for those of you who are new to Path of Exile, each time we release an update, we also release a new league. Not only do we have a new economy, but we also introduce new content through the campaign, which gives you a fresh play experience right from the start of the game, as well as new mechanics, storylines, and in-game bosses. In the Runes of Eldur League, you will encounter a man being attacked by the undead in Clearfell. After saving him, he introduces himself as Pharaoh, a young blacksmith trying to bring back the ancient art of Ezomite runesmithing. He has been collating his discoveries in a tome and is keen to show you how runesmithing works. By inscribing symbols on these ancient Ezomite remnants. Unfortunately, on doing so, the corpses of the nearby undead are revived and infused with some of the latent power, making for a difficult fight. After defeating these monsters, Pharaoh realizes that runesmithing is a dangerous business, and he is going to need the help of someone a little more martially inclined to discover these secrets. He lends you his tome and asks that you note down anything you discover when you return to him. In each area in the Runes of Eldur League, you will find a remnant, and as you approach it, you will notice that some symbols are already present, and some are waiting for you to fill them in. Depending on which symbols are already present, you will have different options for which items you can create using this magic. For example, if you combine Tempest and Lightning, you can create an Orb of Augmentation. But be careful. The symbols used to craft the items also empower the monsters around the remnant, who will be revived as undead to fight again with different properties depending on what runes you used. So, if you use a fire rune in your recipe, the monsters will be empowered with fire. Or if you use a moon rune, lunar beams will rain down as you fight the monsters.
It gives you a fresh bugging experience. Yeah, honestly, never mind. I'll save my thoughts for later.
After the fight, break the remnant to receive the item you crafted. As you get higher level, you will start to find remnants with more slots for more runes, allowing you to craft rarer items. As the number of slots increases though, more waves of monsters will be added, with each wave being empowered by more and more of the runes. And this can get pretty dicey, because some of the runes can have powerful effects. Like the Oath rune, which will cause one monster to be nominated as a leader, spawning waves of minions. The leader itself will be invincible, but killing its minions will deal damage to it.
That boss fight's pretty cool right there.
Some recipes can get pretty large, requiring 6, 7, or even 8 runes. But don't worry, you won't have to remember them. Pharaoh's runecrafting book will record all the options, allowing you to simply pick which one you want to craft, given the existing runes that are already on the remnant.
That's pretty cool. Those runes were pretty cool. Did you see some of those, what they said?
Pharaoh has asked that you keep an eye out for signs of runic magic around Rayclost. He wants to document anything you find in order to rediscover the secrets of Ezemite runesmiths of old.
Like getting a rune that makes that 50% chance to give you a frenzy charge. That's nice.
Can be found in Ogham, and reveals to you an ancient secret buried deep underground.
Because that makes so you don't have to actually like get frenzy charms through something else.
Their own is actually of Kalguran origin. Thousands of years ago, the Kalgurans came to Rayclass to find sources of verisium, a metal on which engraved runes allow control over reality. Pharaoh is determined to learn these ancient ways and gain mastery over them. If you can bring him more verisium, he will be able to use it to smith power into any armor, granting you Runic Ward, the power harnessed by the Kalgurans since ancient times. Runic Ward is a new resource that protects you from death. Should you run out of life, your Runic Ward will kick in, sustaining your body until your life can return. It effectively acts as an extra life pool.
For Path of Exile, Mars?
Should you take enough damage to run out of that, you will still die.
So it's basically another shield.
Every single piece of armor in the game can be upgraded this way. Even uniques. Some are just
That's
a
pretty
strict
cool.
upgrade, giving Runic Ward with no downside.
Because that's like one of the biggest things, right?
Sacrificing defenses to get a much larger amount of Runic Ward. There are even some that add new modifiers to uniques entirely, making them much more viable for higher level play. But the Kalgurans use Runic Ward for more than just a defense. It can also be used to power many other magics. Instead of using gems created from corruption, the Kalgurans used runes of power and fueled them with Runic Ward. Many of the options available from Remnant crafting are new types of Kalguran skills that exclusively spend Runic Ward to wreak havoc. An example is Triskelion Cascade. Using it will cause your next spell to be triggered multiple times in a Triskelion pattern. You can use it with skills like Ice Nova that you cast from yourself, or with something you target at a distance, like Comet. There are also skills to modify existing effects using runic magic. like Frost Flame Nova. Using this skill on a pack of burning enemies will transform the Ignite into Frostfire, both burning them and building up freeze at the same time. You have basic buffs like Hollow Shell that guards all nearby allies, to more complicated mechanics like the Mark of Repulsion that creates a mark capable of pushing away all nearby enemies. Instead of spending mana, like skill gems do, all these skills cost Runic Ward, and unlike gems, they don't have a color.
Kind of like Spirit.
This means that they don't care about attribute requirements, or what kind of weapon you use. These skills are designed to be used on any class, and so often interact with mechanics that apply across many characters. By combining different runes together, the Kalgurans were able to support their runic abilities, and you can as well. There is also a set of runic supports that can be combined with regular skill gems in interesting ways. Concussive Runes allows you to add these concussive shockwaves to any skill that stuns. While Runic Infusion lets you spend ward to directly empower the damage on any skill. Now, there are other quests during the campaign too, that unlock even more interesting crafting methods. Buried deep in the jungle in Act 3, you can find the Mystic Refuge, containing even more secrets for Pharaoh to learn from. Using this knowledge, he gains the ability to reforge unique weapons. With this technique, many low-level unique weapons can be upgraded to do significantly more damage. Now, we've been able to take a bunch of uniques that had interesting modifiers, but were not in-game viable, and give them a bit of a boost to get there. And it's not just low-level uniques. All Kalguran uniques are able to be runeforged this way too, and they can do some pretty interesting things. Like Searle's Grit, a new unique, which when runeforged can get one of several different outcomes. Now, there is still so much more that you can craft with remnants. There are also 100 new runes, as well as many other new crafting currencies. This is the runes of Eldur after all, and some of these runes have quite powerful effects. For example, this elemental conversion rune will convert all the existing mods on a non-unique weapon from one element to another. Using it, you could combine a weapon with all 3 elemental damage mods into a single element, making a weapon with massive amounts of cold damage. There is also a rune that lets you destroy your rune sockets to turn them into a dual socket on your item. And there are even crafting meta runes that can unlock new types of mods when used with regular crafting. For example, this Rune of Chronomancy will unlock a set of time-related mods to be crafted on your boots. Once placed inside, use regular crafting orbs to attempt to get new mods like cooldown speed or increased skill effectuation. You can also create a new type of currency called alloys. Using regular metals alloyed with verisium, new modifiers not normally available can be directly crafted onto your items. Using imbued alloy could improve your ailment damage, for example. There are honestly so many options here that unlock all sorts of crazy crafting projects. So I think people will be experimenting with these for a long time. Once you get to King's March in Act 4, Pharaoh finally meets Danig, a real Kalguran runesmith. And riddled with excitement, he wants to learn how to merge modern Kalguran techniques with the ancient knowledge that he has found. From here on, Pharaoh joins in the Kalguran expeditions that Danig has been leading. With the ancient knowledge that Pharaoh brings to the table, the Kalguran expeditions that Danig has been going on will change significantly. For those of you who haven't played it, the Expedition League mechanic involves carefully placing explosives, uncovering the buried dead, and recovering verisium from them. By choosing where to place the explosives, you can choose which kind of challenges you would like to face, or rewards you would like to claim. But unlike before, expeditions now contain the remnants from Runes of Eldur, allowing you to do some specific crafts along the way using the new League crafting mechanic. One very important difference from the simple remnant encounters, though, is that the empowerments that the remnants grant apply to every monster down the explosive line for the rest of the encounter, stacking together. This can lead to some pretty extreme situations. If you stack too many remnants, you might be in for a fight beyond your abilities, but the rewards can be very worth it. Each mod on the monster is improving the items that they can drop. Once you get to the endgame, you will find that the Atlas has changed substantially. To the south, you will now find the coastline of Rayclast, with the ocean beyond. Kingsmarch has not fared well after the Cataclysm, and lays in ruins. Rog's shop has been destroyed, but he is much more concerned about his wife, Gwennon. He would like to launch an expedition deep into the ocean to find her, and this begins a new major mechanic for Expedition, exploring the ocean. Previously, a logbook was a single encounter. Now, using a logbook, you can send ships to explore an area of the ocean to the southeast, uncovering a range of islands to begin your search for Gwennon. You can hop from island to island, doing many new encounters. There are islands with expeditions, grand expeditions, new bosses, and all sorts of other unique things to find. Eventually, you will find the island that Gwennon has been holed up on. It turns out that she has found the tomb of an ancient Kalguran, Medved. While she appreciates you coming to her rescue, she is still keen to blow open the doors of the vault and take whatever you can find inside. It's just a shame that Medved isn't as dead as you previously assumed. Now, after you have defeated Medved, you will find another logbook, and this time you can use it to choose which direction you want to explore. The ocean is vast and contains a huge number of new islands to find. With each logbook, you can explore one sector and you can go as deep as you like. There are all sorts of interesting objects to uncover and dungeons to explore. Many of the islands have expeditions with totally new mechanics. So for example, here is a volcanic island with voltaxic sulfite. Blowing up the sulfite will unleash extra waves of enemies. But there is also this wall with a suspicious light coming from behind it. On blowing it open, a giant ogre comes out.
What do you mean,
He is
nice to meet you
determined
all?
eat as
Arthur?
much sulfite as possible. The more sulfite mounds that you have blown up, the more empowered and the more rewarding he will become. These islands contain all sorts of little secrets that you can find and blow up. Free trapped wisps, blow open root doors, even raise ancient precursor technology. And of course, more bosses. There are more and further vaults to blow up, and one of them in particular is pretty important. The Tomb of Uhtred, the Star Drinker.
Uhtred, son of Uhtred?
Uhtred was responsible for calling down the meteors of Verisium, which the Kalgurans used to power their ancient magic. And upon defeating him, he calls down a truly gigantic one into the ocean nearby. On visiting it, you find that it is shrouded by a strange energy emanating from the Verisium core of the meteor within. There is something growing in there, and it can't be anything good. In order to gain entry, Danik suggests that the Triskelion Flame, an ancient Kalguran artifact that can absorb and cancel the effects of Verisium magic, could be used to enter. But to find it, you will need to locate the Tomb of Olroth, leader of the Knights of the Sun. Defeat him and gain access to whatever eldritch nightmare is growing inside. Now, we're not going to spoil the boss, but one thing you should know is that the vericium that makes up the core of the meteor is of a quality that has not been available for millennia. Bringing this to Pharaoh and Danig should allow them to forge some objects of
End
power,
game, I think,
the
here.
creation of which has been lost to time. So that's the League, and there is a lot going on. To sum all that up, there is a new encounter with over 30 new monster types and over 30 new rune modifiers to enhance them. You can create more than 100 new runes to craft your gear, as well as dozens of other new currency items. And there are new quests added to the campaign to unlock even more new crafting options. Rune forging armors, upgrading uniques, dozens of new Kalguran skills and supports, tons of new islands to discover by exploring the ocean, 5 new bosses, including a new pinnacle boss, and a bunch of new uniques to top it off. But there is still a ton more to come. It's time to talk about the massive changes to the in-game. But for that, I'll hand it back to Jonathan.
Now, as Mark hinted at before, the in-game atlas is very different now, and the ocean to the south is the least of the changes. The entire area around your starting location is now teeming with new questlines and things to discover. Will you investigate the strange forest to the west? The cracks in the earth to the east? Or perhaps visit the ruins of a Val city in the north? The atlas now has fixed points of interest at specific locations, giving you specific objectives that are easy to find.
Our modest fellowship expands.
Like before though, no matter which
Praise
objective
the
you
sun.
choose, going to towers to see what's
Thank
out there is
you,
always a good idea.
Tuong.
The first time you do that though, something new happens. The earth shakes, and a gigantic fortress rises from the earth. A remnant of the ancient precursor civilization. The cataclysm of the beast has caused an ancient
This is
protocol
Path of
to be
Exile's
invented.
newest season.
Should
Oh,
corruption
Midge is
take
here
hold to
still.
this degree, the world must be scoured and purged of corruption. You will need to make your way into the fortress and activate the gates. Gain the keys to reach these ancient precursor weapons and disarm them. But this will be no easy task. The fortress has many areas to explore and many new things to find. You will power up ancient machines, fight new and deadly foes, discover many new areas, and uncover some dark secrets. Now, the fortress is the first of the new full in-game storylines that we're adding in 050, and there's a lot going on with it. But not only that, it has some pretty cool new mechanics as well. The areas inside the fortress are special. Many of them have new mechanics or rewards that they grant. Like this map, where all the rares are contained
Not
in
yet. They'll
essence
say it at the
crystals.
end.
Or this one, which replaces all monster packs in the area with strongboxes.
Net deck?
Or this one, which
That's
spawns
so
an
good.
Asmeri spirit that always moves on from a rare after you kill it, allowing you to chase it through the entire map.
Oh, they did? That's right before Gothic. I don't think I'm going to do it.
Now, just like the normal areas of the Atlas, you'll need to fight the map boss of each area to complete the map. But unlike a normal map, the ones in the fortress each contain precursor nodes after the boss, and activating these nodes will give you points for the new and improved Atlas passive tree. Now, we had an Atlas passive tree before, but it was one of the areas of the endgame that just wasn't up to scratch. The Atlas tree now works quite a lot differently. We have significantly upgraded the kind of mechanics that you can find on the Atlas tree. Like this one, that gives a chance to make rogue exiles you fight retreat from combat and move to an adjacent map. Before you fight them again, they'll upgrade their gear and come back with a grudge this time. There are also a lot of nodes that combine mechanics together in new ways, like this one which lets Asmeri spirits possess strongboxes. All the regular monsters that come out of them are touched by the spirit, and the rares are all possessed, giving you some incredible loot potential.
I don't know. This hasn't won me over yet. I think it's cool, but I'm like, okay. getting to the end game is the problem right now, not the end game for me. I always thought the end game was
You
fucking
get
cool.
points from every single area you complete in the fortress, and unlike before, that means you can allocate the entire Atlas tree. Yes, this whole tree can be yours. This change is pretty important, since it allows us to be able to create many types of bonuses that we wouldn't have been able to create before. Like this one, which gives a chance for cities to be invaded by another faction, and can even allow it to contain 2 faction leaders, allowing you to get 2 crisis fragments.
Yeah, that's kind of my problem
If
right
we'd done
now.
this
Is
kind of thing on the old tree, we would have wanted to spec into it before running a city map, then unspec out of it before running anything else.
there's so much
With
mechanic
allocation,
creep in this
we can
game.
have cool bonuses like these. Now, obviously, we still want to make sure that you have choices that define your in-game Atlas build. So many nodes in the
100%.
Atlas tree are now multi-choice. Everyone will get the node, but which bonus you choose to use is up to you. Do you want your powerful boss maps to contain more essences, summoning circles, or rogue exiles? But there's also nodes that contain more unusual things. So for example, on this node you can choose. Do you want to give a chance for shrines to instead be given to the map boss in the area, making them more challenging but dropping special loot? Or would you rather give a chance to be given a shrine buff before entering boss arenas, making for an easier fight? Now, I could probably nerd out about cool stuff in the tree all day, but we should probably get back to the fortress. Now, one of the really important things we wanted to do was make it so that all the boss fights in the endgame are now accessible with a quest line. That means that to fight the Arbiter of Ash for the first time, you don't need to get lucky by finding keys. They will be in fixed locations and there's a quest to get them. But the Arbiter of Ash is no longer the pinnacle of Path of Exile 2. For that, you'll need to travel into the very center of the fortress. An incredible challenge awaits you should you choose to go there. After the storyline, you still unlock keys for pinnacle bosses in the usual way.
What did he say
Exploring the
that
world
didn't
and
sound
finding
interesting to me,
keys
but
you
apparently
want
it
to
is,
get.
Kier?
But we have added a lot more interesting things to find out there as well. There are now all sorts of mechanics that can spawn on maps in the wilderness. For example, some maps might spawn as a rogue exile hunting ground, containing multiple rogue exiles who are there to hunt rare beasts. You might come upon them in the middle of a fight and be able to take out both of them. Or a map of champions that makes all the natural inhabitants of the area into magic monsters. Or this one that causes all shrines in the area to release as merry spirits when used. Once you have explored and found
That's
your
cool.
keys, you can return to fight the pinnacle in the fortress again. But this version of him will be harder, and not only that, he will have new unique rewards as well. Each time you fight him, you get the ability to activate one section of the fortress, and any maps that you didn't finish there will be automatically completed, giving you all the Atlas points. So if you're the type of player who doesn't want to explore the fortress, and instead just race out into the infinite Atlas, you still have a way to get all those points. So that's the Origins of Divinity storyline. It's a huge amount of new content with a ton of new areas, 5 new bosses, including a pinnacle, with a bunch of new unique items. But not only that, it also completely revamps the Atlas tree, and includes a ton of new map mechanics that you can find both inside and outside the fortress. But this is just one of the new storylines. So let's talk about the next one now, Masters of the Atlas. Now earlier we talked about how the multi-choice nodes in the tree allow you to still have an in-game Atlas build, but we didn't think that was quite enough. You have an Ascendancy class for your passive tree. Why not an Ascendancy class for your Atlas tree? Well, that's where the Masters of the Atlas come in. Throughout Rayclast are many opportunities for those with the skills to find them. Atlas Masters are willing to train you in these skills if you're able to help them in return. One such master is Jado, a member of the Order
think if
of
I
the
went
Jinn,
back,
an
if they don't-
organization that secures powerful artifacts to prevent them from falling into the wrong hands. Jado will send you on missions to investigate strange occurrences on the Atlas and recover the artifacts causing them. And for each one you recover, he will gain more trust in you and teach you more ways of the Order of the Jinn. At level 1, you could choose to massively increase the chance for rare and unique chests, or make it so that all map bosses drop an additional unique item, or make corrupted waystones have an additional modifier, but at the cost of making them send you to a totally unknown location. Each mission you complete for Jado will unlock another row of abilities and give you another point to allocate, letting you choose how you want to specialize. But there are other masters too. For example, Hilda. Hilda is a member of a guild of monster hunters. She will send you on missions to assassinate specific deadly creatures around Rayclast and harvest their parts. In exchange, she will teach you her monster hunting skills, like this one, which adds a 25% chance to upgrade any map boss to a powerful version. Or this one, which makes his Marian spirits no longer possess rare monsters, making them go for the unique bosses in the area instead. You might notice that many of the effects on these are both upsides and downsides. So Hilda, for example, can make it so that you only get one attempt when fighting pinnacle bosses, but in exchange for that, they always drop 2 uniques. Because of that, we wanted it to be easy to swap between them depending on what you're doing. As you unlock each master, they will appear on the side of the screen. Simply click whichever one you want to use to run the map, and all the bonuses you have selected for that master will be activated. This allows you to have a few different strategies that you can quickly pick between, depending on what you're running at the moment. Now, one thing that's been pretty obvious is that the in-game leagues we created when launching Early Access in 010 were not really up to the standard of the leagues we did since then. Fate of the Vile and Rise of the Abyssal just have a lot more going on than Delirium or Expedition, for example. We wanted to do a serious upgrade to all of these mechanics before we do our 1.0 release, and so that's what we've done. All 4 of the leagues we launched in Early Access have been upgraded with not only new quest lines, but new mechanics, new crafting systems, new uniques, and new pinnacle bosses. One of the really important changes we made to all the leagues is that you can now find them on the Atlas in specific locations, and each one has a quest line that will lead you there to being able to complete the league, along with its Atlas tree and its pinnacle boss. This is true even for the leagues that we didn't do major redesigns to, so let's use Abyss as an example. When you first encounter one in the endgame, you'll get a quest that leads you to the east, where you will find these mega abyss cracks in the earth leading away from the Well of Souls. All the maps along the cracks will contain abysses with special properties, and mapping along these cracks will close the Atlas scale abysses,
Oh,
giving
totally.
you points for the
Totally,
Abyss Atlas tree. At the end of each Atlas abyss, you'll find an abyssal depths with the boss fight for one of the abyssal factions, giving you a guaranteed way to fight them. And after completing all 3, you'll get a key for the Well of Souls, allowing you to fight the Vessel of Kulamak. This kind of thing makes an in-game league so much more friendly for new players, giving
But,
people
dude,
obvious goals and a guided experience to complete them.
there's so much
Alright,
shit.
so let's talk about the first of the upgraded leagues, Delirium, and its new storyline, The Hare and the Raven. As you may remember, during Act 4 you were tricked into releasing an ancient entity from a Karui prison known as Tangmazu, the Raven Trickster. Tangmazu delights in
Were
breaking
we?
the minds of those who step through his mirrors, and when touching one, he will attempt to destroy your mind with twisted abominations generated from your worst fears. In Return of the Ancients, the first time you approach one of his Delirium encounters in the endgame, you will find Elder Maddox locked in a trance.
Yeah, but I gotta make
His
it to the
mind
end
is
game.
trapped in one of Tangmazu's delusions, and you will need to free him. Once free, Elder Maddox demands that as you caused this problem, you should put it right. He asks you to travel
And
west
Asafis,
to
for
the
sure,
Withered
man. I'm
World,
not saying this is
the
bad.
location
All
he
this is
believes
fucking
that
awesome.
Tangmazu first gained
Like,
his
look at that
powers.
map. It's awesome.
But be careful. As you travel there, the Raven Trickster will attempt to break your mind. Each map around the Withered Willow
2 to 3
features
hours?
Delirium
No.
encounters.
We did we've done
This
streams
is
where I'm
more
still
than a
not in the
single
end
quest
game.
upgrade. The
And all I
mechanic
do
of
is just
Delirium
grind
has been overhauled and expanded. At the bottom of the screen, there is now a bar that indicates how deep into Delirium you are. You can see which direction leads deeper by looking at the fog, and the deeper you go, the more challenges you will face. By looking at the bar, you can see how long you have until the Delirium ends. And you can also see special encounters that you will face if you're able to go deep enough into the fog. At the end of the bar is always the boss of the map, but we now have a variety of other encounters that you might find as you explore the horrors of your own mind. For example, you might encounter a purple mirror shard that when shattered will cause all the enemies to become more nightmarish. After hitting this, you'll notice the Delirium demons are enhanced, significantly more powerful, larger, and scarier in general, along with more rewards. Or should you encounter a red mirror shard, you'll be sent into the depths of your mind.
You're not wrong, and that's how I like. Okay, I want to run those things so I
and
can
must
actually
escape it
complete
while
the
fighting
end.
off hordes of your worst fears. If you are able to do so, you will gain a powerful amulet with 2 instilled notables on it. Once you reach the Withered Willow, Elder Maddox discovers that a shard of the mirror is missing. You will need to track down Tangmazu and restore it if you have a hope of discovering how to defeat him. And that
I mean, I
means
could try that
entering
this
the
time.
Raven Trickster's mirrors in an attempt to locate him. Each area around the Withered Willow contains Delirium encounters, so that's a good place to start. As you do Deliriums, some of the special encounters will drop liquid emotions. Normally these emotions can be used to install amulets to add notable passive buffs to them, but in Return of the Ancients, emotions have a new function as well. Each one now has the ability to add crafted mods to jewels, allowing you to add specific mods to an item slot that can be quite difficult to roll. For example, Liquid Despair will allow you to add critical hit chance, while Liquid Suffering will allow you to add movement speed or Air of Effect to your jewels, but there are many more. Once you've done enough Delirium encounters, the location of a Grand Mirror, an entrance into Tangmazu's realm, is revealed, but it won't be that simple to enter. Using his powers, he reflects the map boss for a ridiculous empowered fight, then destroys the entrance into his realm of madness. In order to find him now, you'll need to let the insanity fully into your mind. A strange fruit is left behind which you can consume to fully embrace the madness in an attempt to reach the Raven Trickster's realm. Consuming the fruit will cover an entire area of the Atlas and fog, and every map you do in the fog will get progressively harder and harder as you explore the
Kind of
deeper
hard though
reaches
with
of
like
your mind.
when I usually come back, I'm playing something new, right? Like there's no net
some
deck for a
point you
druid
enter a new
until we
layer.
got further into it.
A simulacrum of your memories, twisted and perverted by the Raven Trickster. Should you be able to complete the simulacrum, Tangmazu will believe that you are worthy of a true challenge, and will let you take the remaining shard of his mirror, allowing you to enter his realm of madness back at the Withered Willow. If you dare to face him, it will be a fearsome challenge.
All right, Night Mage, love you.
So, that's the new storyline of Delirium. As you can see, it's not only a quest line, there are new mechanics, new crafting options, and new boss fights. But one question you might have is, what happens after? Well, once you've completed the story, Grand Mirrors will start appearing on the Atlas sometimes after completing Delirium encounters. After doing the Grand Mirror, you can select where on the Atlas you want to do your fruit-induced drug trip and get another key to fight Tangmazu. But this time, the fight will be quite a bit harder, and not only that, the fight will be able to drop a bunch of new uniques that were not available in the questline version. We'll show some of those later. After doing a Grand Mirror, the decision of where to spread the
Surprised
fight
they
will be
didn't
important,
release
because there are
the
some
Paladin
potent
as like
emotions
a-
that only come from certain
Oh,
map
Diablo did
bosses
release their Paladin,
affected by
so
Delirium
here's
this
ours.
way. Like all emotions, they can craft special mods onto jewels, but these potent emotions can create mods that you can't get any other way. So for example, Potent Liquid Melancholy is an emotion that can only come from human bosses, and allows you to add a variety of on-hit effects. Also, you might want to try instilling amulets with these emotions. They could have some interesting effects, with some powerful notables that do not normally exist on the tree. Like Storm's Rebuke, which makes armor break boost your cold and lightning damage. But also notables from a clearly deranged mind, like Calm's Blessing. This skill allows you to ancestrally boost fire spells after using a Warcry. How about using an Ancestral Flame Blast? Now, just like before, you can also upgrade the League by getting points for a dedicated Delirium Atlas tree. But this now works in a much better way and has much cooler effects. The maps in the Delirium area of the Atlas give you Delirium passive points for completing them, so it's easy to see how to progress. Some nodes will add new types of mirror shard encounters to your Deliriums. Like this one, which will pause the Delirium for some amount of time, allowing you to more easily get to higher depths. Or this one, which adds extra Delirium modifiers to monsters when you pick it up. There are also nodes that can add new types of drops, like this one, which modifies Simulacrum encounters to add special liquid emotions, which can craft time-lost jewels. And nodes that apply to the Atlas mechanics of the League, like this one, which causes the Grand Mirror to spread Delirium fog over a larger area of the Atlas, potentially containing multiple simulacrums. Alright, so that's the changes to Delirium. The core mechanic now includes a bunch of new things to find, new monsters to kill, and has new mechanics on the Atlas. It also has new crafting system for jewels, and over 20 new unlockable notables for amulets. Not only that, we have a new pinnacle boss with a bunch of new unique items, and a massively upgraded Atlas tree just for Delirium. But there's still a lot more to come, so let's talk about Breach next. When you first do a Breach in the endgame, you will find Aelith, one of the Keepers of the Flame, an ancient order of monks dedicated to preventing the Hiveborn from entering the world.
Oh, sure, for sure,
As
man,
you seem
for
to be
sure.
a keen slayer of demons, Aelith would like to recruit you to the order, and asks that you travel to their monastery to the south. On the way there, you'll start to encounter more breaches, and will notice one of the first changes to the breach mechanic. You still have to kill monsters as fast as you can to keep the breach open, but now you can visibly see how much time you have left to keep it open, and how each kill extends its duration. Once you've reached the monastery, you will learn more about the Keepers. In the 25 years since the events of Keepers of the Flame in Path of Exile 1, the war with the Hiveborn has not gone well, and they have managed to establish a foothold in the world nearby. A gigantic area has fallen to the Scourge, and the Keepers are unable to get inside. Inside the monastery is the Genesis Tree, a powerful asset to the war effort, stolen from the enemy and gifted to the Keepers by the Dreamer himself. Using the tree, Aelith could create a breach stone and penetrate the Hiveborn foothold, but without Hive Blood, the tree has withered. To get Hive Blood, you will need to take advantage of another new mechanic of breach. If you can keep the otherworldly portal open for long enough, the breach will stabilize and will enter a new phase. The Hiveborn will send their toughest miscreations to defeat you, and the breach will not close until you can annihilate them, dropping Hive Blood that you can use to restore the Genesis Tree. In some cases, you may even attract one of the deadliest foes the Hiveborn can offer, a Marshal of Zesht. These monsters also drop womb gifts, and if you take these to the Genesis Tree, they can be used to craft items to help you in the war against the Hiveborn. Given that 25 years have passed since the beginning of the war, the tree has grown and withered many times, but with each cycle it learns and expands its abilities. When you first open the Genesis Tree, you will notice these holes into which you can place your womb gifts. Each womb gift can be used to create a different type of jewelry, and must be fertilized with Hive Blood. So for example, you can place this amulet womb gift into the tree, and it will give birth to a random rare amulet. But the Genesis Tree is capable of much more. As you continue to feed the tree, its branches will regenerate, and allow you more and more control over what kind of items it will birth. So for example, this branch of the tree will allow you to control which base types of amulets can be birthed.
I won't be making any content for this, Satros. It's gonna... Gothic 1's gonna come out a week after,
And as you
it's
go
not
deeper,
worth it.
it will even allow you to create new base types that you can't get anywhere else. Like this one, which gives you an entire spirit skill for free. Or this one, which has a rune socket in it. To the left and right are branches that will let you control which mods the amulet can get, including making sure that they're higher level, or controlling which specific mods that they will always have. With 15 points to allocate, you will have to choose wisely how you want to specialize your crafts, but it's worth noting that this tree doesn't have any cost to respecking it. You can enable or disable the nodes at any time by clicking on them.
I don't think this is bad stuff. I think it's all awesome. But as someone who never really interacted with much of the end game since launch, it's all like
the right-hand branch of the ring
just
tree adds
goes
an
right over my
entire
head.
set of caster mods to
I know
rings.
it's all good. I'm not saying it's
Basics
bad.
like
I'm just
extra
like,
elemental damage for spells,
dude, it's just so many trees and so many systems and there's so much of this. And it
more
becomes to a
niche
point where
options
it's
this
like,
mod that increases the rate you gain seals
you've
from Unleash.
overdeveloped this. This could be a way better streamlined process.
And on the left-hand side, you can unlock an entire new set of mods for minion characters.
But also, this is the difference between
This stuff is
D4
actually
and
pretty
PoE
important,
2.
because casters and minion builds didn't have as many slots with interesting item crafting compared to attack builds.
This
The
is what PoE
Genesis
players
tree narrows
want.
that gap. There are also trees for belts
And that's not
and
bad,
currency.
you know?
I won't go over them
Exactly.
too much here, but there are all sorts of goodies in these too. Like being able to create new catalysts for jewels.
Because PoE players play PoE, you know? They play
about
PoE
like
like
its
almost
lightning
entirely.
damage. Once you've done enough breach encounters, you may finally get
Hey, what up, man? How you doing, Matt? Yeah, and that's it, right? Like there's, hey, we've built a billion systems. Play with the ones you want, build how you want. That's how their games have always been. So I'm not like poo-pooing it. I'm saying like it's so much because I have no idea
Once used,
about
true
even the
extent of
Atlas
the
map
breach
beyond
demon's
just the
foothold
beginning
becomes
portions.
clear. They have not only transformed the land, but constructed huge sky hives as well. When you enter the outskirts of their realm,
Asachos, they had those little
using
clicks
the power
before.
of the Keepers of the Flame, these otherworldly structures can be burned away when walking through them. But for each one destroyed, more of the Hiveborn will attack when you attempt to purge the hive.
I mean, Diablo did this, right? But just not anywhere near as in depth,
These
because that's
encounters are
Diablo.
particularly
Diablo's
rewarding
supposed
for
to
win
be
gifts, so you'll want to do as
plug
many of
in,
these as you
don't
can.
use your brain.
But your real goal are the sky hives deeper into the domain. These twisted creations are securing the demon's entry into our world. Inside the very center are the Breach Lords Tool and Ash, and you will need to defeat them if you want to get rid of the foothold once and for all. Now, once you've completed the questline version, there is still more to do. You will find other breach domains on the Atlas randomly in your travels. For each one, you will need to find a breach stone, destroy the sky hives, and defeat the Breach Lords. And doing these encounters is what will give you access to fight Zesht, the existing Breach Pinnacle boss, which you can access by communing with the Dreamer himself inside the monastery. While completing the questline for Breach, you will also be gaining points for the Breach Atlas tree, and there are a lot of cool new options.
Fast and the Furious of ARPGs is the best way to
This
describe
will
it.
cause breach hives to spawn outside of the hiveborn domains on the Atlas. And this one will give Aelith additional abilities that you can use while attacking a hive.
Poe is like watching a Christopher Nolan movie.
Like this one, which causes all hiveborn in the next wave to be magic, drastically increasing their difficulty in exchange for way more items. There are also nodes that allow you to control your rewards, like this one, which adds a set of new lineage supports to the Marshal of Zesht. Or this one, which lets you control which womb gifts you will get. There's also some nodes that affect the Genesis tree, like this one, which will cause Zesht to drop his head, which when returned to the Genesis tree, will grow a grasping orchid on the side of it. You'll have to experiment to find out what this thing is good for. Putting rings on its fingers seems to make it happy. So that's a rundown of what you can expect from the new Breach questline. There's a new stabilization mechanic for breaches, hive encounters, and hiveborn incursions on the Atlas. But you also have a huge new crafting system and new bosses as well. Alright, so let's talk about the Rite of the Nameless storyline next. When you first complete a ritual in the endgame, Aoife, a lost spirit, will appear. She appears to need your help, but isn't able to communicate more than a few words, beckoning you to come to the Wildwood. Like the other leagues, Ritual now has a place on the Atlas to call home. The Wildwood could be found to the west. When you first arrive there,
Dude,
Aoife's spirit will
I don't
guide
even know
you
what's
out,
going on, man.
where
It's
you will
just like,
discover that inside the Wildwood, spirits can take physical form. Aoife has been bound to this place by the King in the Mists, and requests that you free her. But in order to do so, you will need her
It
body
truly is,
currently in
dude.
possession of the King. To reclaim it, you will need to gain an audience with him. Inside the Wildwood, there are many ritual encounters to complete. Like before, in each
And
area,
Champions
triggering
coming
rituals
too?
will
That's part of
resurrect
this
the
as
nearby
well?
monsters to attack you, and killing the monsters will give you tribute. In addition, each ritual you do in the area will add the monsters from the previous ritual, making the encounters much more challenging the more rituals you complete. Once you've completed them, spend your tribute to get items. Now, an important change to the rewards of Ritual is that all the items in the reward window are now
yeah, the two
unique
ascendancies
or
they show
omens,
were martial
making
artist
this
and
league's rewards much more valuable than before.
spirit summoner, whatever.
In order to gain an audience with the Nameless King, you need to sacrifice tribute to him. Any remaining tribute you don't spend can be sacrificed this way to fill up this bar. Once you have enough tribute for an audience, return to the Wildwood to divine his location with the Nameless Shrine. His location will be revealed deeper in the Wildwood, and you will need to make your way to him, kill him, and get Aoife's body. Using her body, you can attempt to release her spirit, but this is when you learn about the true threat of the League. The Wildwood is built on top of an ancient prison. The King in the Mists didn't gain his power out of nowhere. He was granted it by an ancient being of darkness known as the Bodark, and the Nameless King's use of this power has been causing the prison to weaken. In order to prevent the Bodark from entering the world, a champion will need to enter its prison and beat him back, but those with a name are unable to survive there. In order to do so, you will need to transfer your name to another with a new mechanic in the Ritual League, the Rite of the Nameless. The rite will begin in a nearby forest. At first, it appears to be a regular ritual encounter, but that will soon change. The final ritual of the area will include the map boss. and defeating him will give you a piece of the effigy onto which you will transfer your name. But the ritual is still not complete. Once the map boss is defeated, the atlas will open and you will need to pick another adjacent map to continue the ritual. During the rite, each adjacent map will have different rewards to tempt you. So for example, if you go in this direction, you gain significantly more tribute. But if you go in this direction, the uniques in the reward window will turn into currency instead. You can also sometimes get offered specific items that will be added as rewards. So in this case, you'll have to choose if you want to get 5 Chaos Orbs or a Mage Blood. A difficult decision, I'm sure. Now, as this is one continuous ritual, the encounters in the next map won't start from scratch. They contain all the monsters that were gathered from the rituals of the previous map as well, making them harder and harder. And that includes the map boss too. You will need to defeat both map bosses in the final encounter for your next effigy piece. And it still doesn't end there. Pick another map, another reward, and add another map boss to continue until the ritual of the Nameless is complete. It will take 5 maps in all, and will be an incredible challenge.
Yeah, I left the room to go fill my water box. I know I wouldn't miss any.
But once complete, you can return to the Wildwood to perform the final rite.
We've lost 15
Transfer your
viewers
name
since
to the
this started.
effigy, adorn the crown of the Nameless King, and enter the prison. Now of course, once the pinnacle boss is complete, the league doesn't end there. As you do rituals on the Atlas, you can continue to give tribute to the King in the Mists for another audience. Pick another forest to begin the rite of the Nameless once more, and this time with a harder pinnacle boss and new unique items to find. Of course, we've also significantly upgraded the Ritual Atlas tree. Get points by completing maps in the Wildwood, and you'll be able to unlock some pretty cool nodes. Some of them affect the Rite of the Nameless, like this one which extends its duration. You thought fighting 5 map bosses at once was hard? How about 6? Or this one, which makes maps during the rite have more reward mods, often having 2. You also have nodes that allow things to combine with other content, like this one, which gives a chance for rituals to be created inside summoning circles, adding a random boss to the ritual encounter. There is even a
Yeah, all this is completely over my head. That's why it's like, hey, we improved the end game. I didn't interact with it enough, so it's all good. You're right.
so
Like,
that's
it's none of this is bad.
But let's have a look at what this means for endgame content as a whole for Path of Exile 2.
Okay.
When you include the expedition changes made by the League, we have a total of 5 new in-game storylines, each of which has a hub, crafting systems, areas to explore, NPCs, and a pinnacle boss as a capstone. Not to mention the Masters of the Atlas storyline as well. But more importantly, you now have immediate quests as soon as you arrive at the endgame, and goals with obvious progressions that you can see how to finish. Each in-game questline has a progress bar that you can pop out from the side of the Atlas screen at any time that shows you how far through you are, and buttons that will take you to the hubs for them. Overall, it's just a way better in-game experience with a significant number of fun objectives to
Well, I was
complete.
thinking of doing Witch because I've never done. It's
Just
the
in case
only
you have
class I've not
goals,
played except for
we do have
Mercenary.
one other thing that you might want to complete this league. These are called challenge leagues after all. Where are all the challenges? Well, players of Path of Exile 1 will be used to the fact that each league comes with a series of challenges that you can complete in order to prove that you are indeed the best. We haven't done these yet in Path of Exile 2, but it's time to change that. If you're able to complete them, you'll earn pieces of the Knight of Alder armor set. Opening the challenge screen will show you a series of 8 challenges. After completing each one, anyone in chat or in the forums will be able to see your prowess. In addition, you'll get a statue to put in your hideout showing anyone you trade with how many challenges you've completed. You'll earn the first piece of the armor
Sick.
set after doing 2 challenges, and the full armor set after completing all 8.
By the way, I think that's the next
That
step for
covers all
Diablo.
the
They need
content
like
you'll
housing
encounter
or
in
like
Return of the
hideouts.
Agents. But what about some new tools to fight against these new pinnacles with? Well, we also have some new Ascendancy classes as well, but to introduce them, I'll hand you guys back to Mark.
As Jonathan said, we have 2 new classes to show you today, the Spirit Walker and the Martial Artist. Let's start with the Huntress's new class, the Spirit Walker. The Spirit Walker has developed an affinity
Oh,
with the
fuck.
Asmarian
I thought it was
animal
Druid.
spirits. She is able to infuse the power of multiple spirits at her choosing. On the bottom part of the class, you will find paths for each wisp you would like to commune with, be they primal, vivid,
That'd be
or
sick.
wild. Each one can give you different abilities that align with the stag, owl, or bear. Each ability gives you a method to become possessed by wisps of that type, and a new ability when you spend them. The stag allows you to summon stampedes when you attack. The owl grants boons in the form of their feathers, which adds extra projectiles and enhances the projectile speed of your next skill. And the bear simply summons a giant bear companion to your side. The bear will maul, slam, leap, and do intimidating roars to debuff your enemies. Now you can specialize more into each of these wisps, but if you want to combine all three of them, then a new hidden power will be unlocked, the power of the Sacred Wisps. This node is free and enhances the quality of all three of your spirit animals. Your bear will take some of the damage you take and grant you life regeneration. Your stags will become more aggressive, leaping towards enemies, and your owl-empowered skills will leave a trail of soaring ground behind them. But that's not all. The Spirit Walker has other powers beyond wisps, such as Idolatry, which can give you large bonuses for using idle socketables in your equipment. And this one, which is my absolute favorite. The Spirit Walker, having attuned herself with nature, can gain the ability to tame beast bosses, opening up a whole suite of very cool options for your build. Maybe you tame the mighty Silverfist in the jungle depths. Or maybe
I was thinking the same thing
three-headed
as Satros.
chimeral beast in the chimeral wetlands.
Like, it seems cool, but it seems like it also could potentially just not be fucking cool.
Or then there's a giant frozen owl beast, Rakar, the frozen talon. There's so many choices. You're going to have to experiment a bunch with this one, and I'm very excited to see what bosses you all choose to have as your trusted boss companion. Next up, we have the monk's new ascendancy class, the Martial Artist. After decades of training, he has mastered 3 of the 7 hollow techniques. Channeling hollow form technique allows the martial artist to create illusions of himself, which then use a skill of your choosing. Perfect for turning skills with less area of effect into ones that can obliterate packs with ease. Should you find yourself overly vulnerable while channeling, you might want to take Way of the Mountain, which causes you to be covered in stone when you immobilize enemies, mitigating large amounts of damage. This can even enhance your attacks too. By hardening your weapon in stone, you can deal even more damage. After taking Hollow Focus technique, you can manifest your spiritual energy into objects. In this case, bells, which will appear around the martial artist and can be shattered by any of his attacks, even ones from the Hollow Form technique earlier. Hollow Resonance technique furthers that by adding a manifested bell to your back, which rings each time you deal a critical strike, damaging all enemies around you. Through all the martial artist's thorough training, he has mastered the flow of internal spiritual energy too, and has engraved runic tattoos around his meridians. By doing this, he can gain the benefit of extra runes. Just open your inventory and add the runes. There is one that counts as a helmet, 2 as a body armor, 1 as gloves, and 1 as boots. Finally, your hands, the ultimate expression of a master of the martial arts. Taking Way of the Stone Fist will cause your gloves to become a new base type when equipped. Each modifier on the original pair of gloves has an equivalent, more powerful, and more impactful modifier. For example, these gloves add some physical damage, cold damage, lightning damage, some resistances, and life gain on hit. Now, when I equip these, they become literal fists of stone, and not only grant me a bunch more evasion and energy shield, they now also grant a lot more damage, some maximum
That's sick.
resistances, and a significantly higher amount of life gained on hitting enemies. With all the different rune combinations you could do, and the different modifiers on gloves, there's a ton of different build options, and we're looking forward to seeing what you can come up with. Now, with so many new bosses in Return of the Ancients, of course we want to have a huge number of unique rewards. There are some pretty cool things in here, so we wanted to show you a few of them. Twisted Empyrean is a 2-handed mace made from the purest of Verisium, combined with the beast's corruption. It converts all of your mace's skills fire damage to cold, and visually does so too, turning your volcanic fissures into glacial ones. This space also comes with its own built-in skill, Starborn Onslaught. Using Glory, you can leap backwards, throwing your mace at the ground, creating Verisium fissures, before calling behind it a storm of cold metallic bolts from the stratosphere.
Monk was really fun, man. I agree.
Next, we have Eventide Petals, an amulet that not only grants runic ward, but also comes with its own reservation skill, Midnight Zenith. This skill causes your critical hits to grant Arctic petals that hover around you. Once you have acquired enough of these petals, they will be consumed, creating a floral ice crystal near an enemy. Then, destroy that crystal to do devastating cold damage to everything around it.
Might also do like a wizard would be fun,
The
sorceress, whatever it
Raven's
is.
Flock is a staff perfect for minion characters. Not only does it grant spirit reservation efficiency and minion damage, it also allows your minions to inflict grueling madness on hit, slowing enemies and making all other slows on them more powerful for maximum crowd control. That's not where this item shines though. It grants a skill called Spiraling Conspiracy. This skill causes a flock of ravens to circle you, dealing
Oh,
damage over
shit.
time to anything near them. Killing enemies, or just by standing near unique enemies, causes the flock to grow, getting larger and larger. For your PoE 1 players, you can think of this just like a Raven Righteous Fire. That's not all, however. These ravens are also minions, so they fully scale with minion damage and come with their own command skill, Mad Flight. This command skill causes your flock to create a tunnel of deathly damage between a set of illusory mirrors, obliterating anything in between.
Fuck, that's crazy.
AORUS Flight is a pair of gloves instilled with the purest of fear. Equipping these causes your enemies to become terrified of you. These gloves cause you to gain stacks of fear incarnate when you cull enemies. To aid in your culling, these gloves also come with the skill Crushing Fear. This is similar to the monk skill Killing Palm, except it deals chaos damage, and the amount of damage and area of effect scales drastically based on the power of the enemy.
This is the biggest thing that Poe has,
As
though,
you
is
use
like
this, gain your stacks of fear incarnate,
the animations and
which
particle
increases
effects are
your
just so
culling
much cooler
threshold,
than Diablo.
meaning enemies become easier and easier to cull, even to the point of being able to instantly kill some monsters from full life. Sylvan's Effigy is a scepter for those wanting to run companions. It allows you to have any number of companions of different types, instead of the normal restriction of just one per type.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
But what makes this cool is the Asmerian wolf companion it comes with.
Oh,
This is a persistent minion that bites foes to maim them, leaps to cause bleeding, and even howls to buff nearby allies.
because I really want
Additionally,
to.
it comes with the
I
command
really
skill
want to see what they do with
Eternal Hunt,
Crusader or
which when used, it will howl,
Paladin, whatever they call their
calling on the
paladins.
spirits to manifest spectral wolves to ambush
I
all
just think it's
foes
going to
around
look so fucking cool. And it
Liminal
looks like
Coil
it's going to
is
be a minion
crazy
character.
wand. It allows
Templar,
you to
thank
apply
you.
as many
Thank you.
curses as you please, but those curses will have no effect. What's the point then?
But there's a lot
Two
of minion
reasons.
stuff in that tree.
Firstly, your spells gain a bunch of extra physical and chaos damage for each curse on enemies. Secondly, is the skill it grants called Coiling Bolts. This skill is a projectile spell that fires coiling physical and chaos projectiles with every cast. What makes this skill truly special though, is that it will split and chain through every cursed enemy.
I just
causing
think
an
that, like,
absolute ruckus.
I mean,
See
I know
for
we're getting
yourself.
champion right now. That leaves
Periphery is a unique bow, which utilizes all
Templar
powers of
and
the Asmerian
Berserker
spirits by dealing
and
damage with
Assassin,
all
right?
elements. And all elements can cause all ailments. The coolest thing about this bow, however, is the Asmerian Swarm skill. These are minions that are summoned when you kill enemies.
I think
They
that
will
means
pursue all
we're probably
nearby
seeing a launch in
enemies,
December.
damaging them and
If not,
inflicting a
the
debuff
beginning of
on
the
them
year.
that boosts your elemental damage.
Shadow, yeah,
and
Shadow,
further.
not Assassin, sorry. Marauder. I
Watch as
thought
you
I think it was
mow enemies
Berserker.
down, and the swarms of Asmerian wisps aid you, melting enemies one screen at a time. The Ordained is a new spear, mastering in physical and lightning damage, with high critical strike chance too. This spear allows you to leech life not only from physical damage, but lightning too. It also creates a fragment
That's
of
what I'm
divinity
thinking of.
nearby
Matt, thank you,
periodically.
dude.
What
I
are
played
those?
a
Well,
vampire
this
berserker.
spear has the skill Righteous Descent, which is an epic
Life leech,
divine leap,
spin to win.
aided by angelic wings. If you use the skill when a
No,
fragment
I
of
think so. I
divinity is
don't think so
nearby,
either, Kier.
it will
I think they'll do
become
one or two more
empowered,
classes.
dealing
Oh,
significantly more damage, gaining
that
massive area
dude,
of
that was
effect,
just this spear.
and
Imagine what
bypassing
Templar is
its
going to
cooldown.
look like. That's your
When fighting
falling
a
star
boss,
from
Let a
Diablo.
bunch of the fragments spawn, and then just unleash your divine havoc, obliterating them.
Dude, you know the Templar is going to be fucking disgusting.
Last, but not least, we have a new unique jewel, Voices. Voices is simple. It consumes one jewel slot.
I'd imagine the
to add
next one
more.
they do to be,
There are versions that add
if we
2
are
jewel
getting
slots,
champion right now,
3 jewel slots.
'cause I thought that's what the
and for
trailer
those who are
showed.
absurdly
I think the
lucky
next one they do is
or
Shadow.
rich, one with 4 jewel slots. Equip it and notice the slots appear next
And
to
then
your
I
character's
think
portrait in the center.
they do another update like this, and then they do launch.
One of the things we are concerned about is how long it takes for experienced players to replay through the game in each new league. As we learned from Path of Exile 1, one of the things that can really help is having elements in the campaign that tell you where to go, if you know what to look for. We'll cover just one example per act for Acts 1 to 3, but there are many more than just these. For example, Hunting Grounds in Act 1 is a large, sparse area, containing multiple entrances and landmark encounters. Here's an example of some of the changes we've made here. Finding the ritual encounter in this area isn't too difficult. Now after completing it, a trail of locusts will lead to the entrance to Freythorn.
No,
Just
that's
follow
pretty
it
nice.
And find the source of the evil.
That's nice, because that was
You
that was
may
the biggest
also
problem. You
find the
couldn't.
corpses of dead animals, killed and pecked at by the crowbell.
That's nice,
You'll
because you
notice a
can't
trail of
circumvent
blood
these
leading away from them.
side quests the
Follow
first time
trail
around because
and
they
it will
give you
lead
skill
directly
points.
to the boss. We even put a signpost on the road to tell you which way to go to find Ogham Village. In Act 2, in the Mastodon Badlands,
That's nice.
you need to find the Lightless Caverns and
Yeah,
track down
so
the
much
other side.
wandering. That's what was slowing
Now
me
to make
down.
this quicker, in the level you'll find
Because I
these
wasn't going to
tracks.
skip those.
Just follow them.
Would
and
you
it will
get
take
something like
right to their lair,
30 skill
allowing
points?
you to
24
find and
skill points? What
unlock
was
the
it?
Well of Souls. In Act 3, the jungle areas have camps of explorers to sell you items. However, they are now even more useful. By talking to the explorers, they will point towards the next area. Not only that, but it will also reveal it on the minimap, so you can know exactly where to go.
Oh, perfect.
These are just some examples.
Oh, like
We
this
plan
fucking
to
thing
do
too.
more and more of these over time in order to streamline the experience. Now,
That's nice.
as this is an in-game expansion, it makes sense that we would work on Atlas QOL. We've added a search box that updates live as you type. Have a specific map you want to run? Now they will be much easier to find.
Nice.
If there are multiple maps, hitting
I
enter
gotta pick
will
up my
move you
fucking
from
dog,
map
man.
to
Can you
map.
get to the ending?
Now, making a character build in Path of Exile 2 can be pretty complex. And instead of designing a build yourself, many players enjoy following online build guides. We have a pretty awesome community that has built many tools over the years for designing builds, but we wanted to improve the experience of following them. So, we are introducing a new build guide system directly into the game client.
Oh shit.
Here's how it works. Community creators who write build guides can now create a new file format, a build file. Once downloaded, the builds appear in the in-game client, and selecting one will show you everything you need to know to make that build. So you can see all the passives you need to allocate, ascendancy points you need to take, skill gems you need to equip, and recommendations for all the support gems you need to use as well.
Oh, that's cool.
For items, the build designer can specify which uniques to use in each slot, or if needed, just add some notes to the item slot to say what kind of item you need. In fact, build creators can
Retisatros.
add notes to just about any of these areas, allowing them to explain different trade-offs in context, or just give more info about how these things should be used. They can also give level ranges to each element, allowing recommendations to change over time. Great for builds that need to respec after they reach a certain level. Now, all of this is written in a standardized build format that creators can use, and we imagine that a lot of community build tools will be updated to add support for this format. Now that we have trade market searching built into the in-game client, we have added the ability to price check items you can find more easily. Control-Alt-clicking an item will now search for it on the trade market, showing you the current prices. For rare items, it's handy to exclude some mods, so we added the ability to enable and disable each mod so you can see what effect each one has on the price.
That's cool.
Next up, we're going to be talking about the new supporter packs for Return of the Ancients. Today, we're launching 2 new series of supporter packs, the Blood Reaver and Divinity packs. Each tier contains the pack's full face value in points, alongside several exclusive microtransactions. As always, the microtransactions in these packs are purely cosmetic and do not affect your character's power or progression in any way. The Blood Reaver series of supporter packs contains 6 exclusive microtransactions. Let blood fuel your bloodshed. The Exsanguinator weapon effect draws the blood of enemies you've slain and funnels it into your weapons. Turn the appearance of your endurance, frenzy, and power
Yeah, I mean, you
charges
wouldn't be able
into
to
orbiting globules of
pay
blood.
for the
Blood
continued
Reaver
early
charges.
access development of this thing
While your charges are
without
active,
these supporter
these
packs.
blood orbs will grow in
Because I
size
think the
when you
majority of
absorb
people that
more
are
blood
playing early
by
access,
enemies. There are
I mean, they're not
options to have pure blood
the same
charges or charges that
50,000
still
people.
display
I
which
don't
kind
know.
of
I'm
charge
just
they
using
are
blank
illegally.
numbers.
A taste for blood doesn't negate a taste for style. The Elite Blood Reaver armor features crimson leathers and golden accents to set yourself apart from uncivilized leeches. It also features a back attachment fashioned out of the wing of a colossal bat.
But you're right.
Alongside
There's a
every
fuck ton of
Blood
these
Reaver
things,
is their
dude.
trusted gargoyle pet. In true gargoyle fashion, they take the form of a stone statue when you are idle, leaping into action when you're on the move again. What good is immortality if you don't have a vast mansion to come home to at the end of the day?
Oh, damn, that's
The
cool.
Eternal Blood Reaver supporter pack contains the Blood Reaver Manor Hideout.
I mean,
This exquisite two-story
this whole
estate
supporter pack is like
features
my
an
jam.
organ, a grand dining table, and cages for your visitors. You can alter the walls to create as many or few rooms as you like.
Damn.
Last but not least, the Servant of the Manor,
That's insane.
eternally bound to the Order of the Blood Reavers. This henchman will manage your store, so you can spend more time spilling blood.
Stop that. We won't disappoint you. But if we do,
Yeah, for sure I am.
to beat us most fight.
I mean, I like all vampire and gothic
The
stuff, right?
Divinity Pack series also contains 6
Oh, well,
exclusive
fuck.
microtransactions. Call on Divinity to aid you in eluding enemy hits with the Divinity Dodge Roll effect.
Everyone's gonna buy
As
that.
you sprint,
Look at this
actual
shit, though,
divine
dude.
lightning wings will form out of your back, leaving a trail of radiance as you engage or escape from combat. For situations that are too dicey, call on the gods above to send down the Storm of Divinity portal.
Yeah,
to
dude,
create
like
a safe
Templar's
passage
gonna
for you
look
to
fucking
retreat.
crazy.
Adorn yourself with the Knight of Divinity armor set, a highly revered attire only bestowed to those deemed worthy for the divine cause. Equipping the Divine Surge character effect empowers you with a storm of divine energy. Using skills causes the storm to burst from your character, spilling raw divinity into the
Character is
area
that?
around you.
That was a
The
huntress?
Arbiter of Divinity wings are the final piece remaining to emphasize the force divinity has over this realm. This ancient precursor machine was found locked away in a highly guarded vault. Its original purpose is unclear, but it has been altered to fuel your maps using the pure, everlasting divinity within the statue. The pillars surrounding represent how many portals you have left for your map. This map
That's
device
cool.
also tracks your progress as you complete the new Origins of Divinity storyline, added this expansion. Additionally, all microtransactions from the supporter packs will be made available for use in Path of Exile 1. On release weekend, we will also be releasing the Return of the Ancients mystery box. which will contain 2 armor sets, a set of map devices for your in-game adventures, a new tracking scroll that records the amount of currency you've gained from the currency exchange or your shop, and much more. Like
Oh,
a set
shit.
of finisher effects and affinity stashes. That's not all, however. The Fragment stash tab is finally coming to Path of Exile 2, and with it comes some tabception. Inside this one tab, there's a tab for your various boss key fragments. There's also a tab for all your precursor tablets, with each type of tablet getting 6 tabs of storage. Finally, there's a tab for your Djinn barriers and inscribed ultimatums, both of which get their own 6 tabs. That's a lot of tabs.
Yeah, that.
So that's everything in 050. This is by far the biggest update we've ever made to PoE 1 or 2. New in-game storylines, pinnacle bosses, crafting systems, items, ascendancy classes, and so much more. Now, because this update contains so much in-game content, we're doing significantly more testing than usual. For that to happen, we're taking a little longer than usual between the announcement and the release. 050 will be released in 3 weeks on May the 29th, with the patch notes being released on the Friday before that, on May 21st. But there's just one more thing to talk about. Now that the endgame is up to scratch, we have to start talking about our plan for 1.0 release.
Oh,
The feedback we've had during early access has been critical for making all the improvements that we'll be making to the game. At the same time, we had to create enough in-game content to make an ARPG that can call itself a successor to Path of Exile 1. Well, with 050, we now believe we have reached that point, and so this is going to be the last full-size league during early access.
oh,
That's right,
damn.
the next big update is going to be 1.0. Now, normally we would do our next big content release in August, but in the run-up to full release, our plans take a little longer on this one. As big as 050 is, 1.0 is even bigger. So we'll be launching 1.0 this year sometime after ExileCon. But that doesn't mean we won't be doing updates in the meantime. In this final phase, we have a lot of things to polish throughout the game and balance to improve. I'm sure there'll also be feedback about the new endgame that we need to incorporate too. The difference is that the focus is not going to be on adding more content like the previous updates, it's going to be on improving what we already have. But we still want to encourage people to try out all the balance changes and improvements that we're making. So we're going to be running a few event leagues during this phase alongside each update. Think remixes of existing mechanics or features. And speaking of ExileCon, don't forget to pencil it in on the weekend of November the 7th in New Zealand. ExileCon is a gathering of our players, and a chance for us to showcase everything we'll be working on for both Path of Exile 1 and 2.
Yeah, so
And
that'll
this
be
one will
December.
particularly important for us, since we finally get to unveil some of the coolest content that we've been working on for a while now with Act 5 and 6. Tickets for the in-person event are currently sold out, but don't worry, all the announcements and talks are going to be streamed online for all of you to watch. Now, I'm personally so excited for this. This is the year that PoE 2 comes out. The campaign is finally finished. It's been 8 years to get here, but we're finally near the finish line. And with that, it's time to move on to our live Q&A.
Oh. All right. I know I'm not for me, bros. So sorry. If you guys want, please, by all means, do watch it. Oh, Ziggy is not on a microphone.
Good to sit down for a nice long Q&A again once
There we
again
go.
today. We just had a teaser.
Claim now. Here's the link for Path of Exile.
overhaul,
As always, go check that out.
Runes of Aldor League with the
I'm gonna check this really quick. We were talking about something here. I don't remember what it was. You're like, go back to, oh, you think you were saying go check to see if you have certain gems for the grandfather. We're gonna close the stream down here pretty soon though. I want to take a look at I gotta go pick my dog up. Poor puppy. He called me about an hour ago. Let's take a look in a book. Reading Rainbow. What gems are you talking about? I definitely don't have them. These? Yeah, I don't have anything for those. Barely make. I can't make royal anything. Yeah, they're all the same. Asacho, skip out a community sub. Thank you, dude.
Arrives. It fills you with determination.
Or I craft mythic. Oh. I don't have any of this. I haven't top one and Daryl's Visage. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, absolutely, dude. I mean, maybe if I play, I would make a witch because I've always wanted to, and I haven't made one yet. Right click. There you go. I have Mott. And that's it. One Mott. I have witch. Monk is a possibility, but again, I'll be jumping balls deep into what's it called? So I'll be kind of just going hard on that. No, I don't. No, I don't. I've barely gotten any cool runes, man. I'm gonna have to play a little bit more. Oh shit, look at this guy. Look at this guy. Look at this druid build. I don't know how I did that. I'm gonna have to play a little bit more, I think, before I make this build. I'm gonna go pick up Roman. I think I'm gonna do that real quick. But okay, so do you guys think there's not many of you guys left right here? There's only 23. We've cut in half. Do you think it's better if I do the skill portion of the build, showing gameplay overlaid with like, hey, here's why I'm choosing Zeal, here's why I'm doing these two, here's why I'm doing this and that, versus me using this screen and going through every single choice? Like, which do you, one is much shorter, one is much longer, but you get more details. I feel like a lot of people that watch the build videos that I've done for Diablo, they leave because the skills portion's too long. So, but I mean, like, would you rather see here again gameplay, and then it's just like, as you're seeing gameplay, you'll see Zeal come up, and I'll explain, yeah, you know, we're choosing Zeal. Zeal's going to be doing this, and so on and so forth, and so on and so forth. Yeah, we're going to be linking to the build on Mobalytics for sure. That's our primary damage vehicle. We'll also be using Fanaticism Aura as well as Defiance Aura. Fanaticism is going to be giving us some nice critical chance, mainly attack speed, which we're going to pull a lot of damage out of as well, and it is another chance to weaken things. Defiance Aura is also going to be adding, rather than going through, okay, Defiance Aura, we're going to go with this passive because of this, and this passive because of this, and this capstone passive because of this. Rather than going through every single choice, we just talk about the skill on a high level, overlaid on top of gameplay. Which do you think would be better? Okay. Okay, I agree with that. What's the training room? What? There's a training room? What the fuck is this? This in here? Oh. Well, I didn't know until you said south of this town. Open your map, south of this town. You know what that means. You know what that means. I mean, south of the town. Then you said in this town, south side. You know what? Don't even, he's trying to be so cool. Well, that's cool as shit. Now it is, yeah. We had on Path of Exile's thing. That's kind of cool. That's super cool. I do this. So crit chance gets up to 100% or 52%. Why am I taking damage? Oh, it might just be because I'm not healing. I'm not causing the... I'm not causing the thing. Yeah, I'm not causing the lucky hits that return my health. That's weird. Like this. A lot of damage. All right, so guys, thank you so much for watching here today. I'm gonna go pick up my poor pup who's just sitting there waiting for me. Yeah, it should work. I don't know. It doesn't though. So cool. Yeah, I'll take a look at it more. But guys, thank you so much for watching here today. Thank you, Asatros, for the community sub. Hugh Wong for giving out a sub, or for doing a prime sub. Mars Crimson for a sub. TQ Midge for the sub. Darknesses and Xeno. Thank you guys all very, 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 very much for the sub. We'll be back again on Saturday. I'm probably going to either play Windrose or Conan Exiles. If you guys, I'll put a poll up, see what you guys prefer. I'm probably more apt to want to try out Windrose more. I've barely been able to play it. But again, we'll be back with more streamage on Saturday. And then we'll be working. I'm going to go back to some Crimson Desert videos. We're going to pretty much kill some time until we get to a Gothic 1 ramp up in a week or two. So we'll see how that goes. But guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a good one. Take care. Wash your hands. Stay safe. And I'll see you guys on Saturday. I'm not going to do a raid. We're just going to go ahead and end the stream here so I can go pick up my pooch. But again, have a good one. Take care. Kier, thank you so much for your help today. Asatros, thanks for bearing with me as I struggled to watch all of the Poe 2 stream.